the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X Gaming Show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is my brother, Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Hey, now.
Those of you that don't know what Generation X Gaming is, we're here live Thursday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Blood pressure medication?
Yeah, going over the gaming news from the past week. We're also on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, anywhere else a podcast is listened to. So if you like podcasts and you don't want to watch us here live on Thursday nights at 30 NSG, you can also watch us over on Twitch. Hello, Twitch, if you're out there and you're watching from Twitch live. It's no past broadcast over there. So if you do happen to follow us or see us live over on Twitch, come on over to the YouTube side, because that's where we have most of these videos. And then we also have the past broadcasts over, like I said, on Spotify. So how's it going, chat? What's going on, Roic? What's going on, Eclipse? Jason? Z, what's going on? Who else is here? Anybody else here? Krebsy, what's going on? Salty? So on today's show, for episode, what do we have, 452, we're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto. We're going to be talking about Take-Two. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 6. We're going to talk about MarvelRivals. We're going to talk about a Pal World. We're going to talk about Sony. We're going to talk about Borderlands 4. We're going to talk about James Gunn and the Superman movie. We're going to talk about Division 2 news. We're going to talk about what gamers spend annually. We're going to talk about the future of gaming. Okay, as far as there's two stories.
It's getting crazy.
There's a guy who created this device that shocks himself to become a better FPS person for his milliseconds to get down. Okay, it's actually quite interesting. Okay, we'll have a conversation about that. And then there's a program that basically can make open world games instantaneously. Like, we're talking, people said 6 months. Or I'm sorry, people said 5 years away. We're like 6 months past the last time I said it's going to be the worst that it's ever going to be. And now people are making open world games that you can fully immerse yourselves in. And everyone will be like, well, you can tell it's AI, right? But, like, again, 6 months from what we were before. And then we'll talk about AMC as well. And then we have a story from former PlayStation CEO says Xbox Game Pass and other subscription services turn developers into wage slaves. Isn't that just corporate America? Is that what that is?
So is he really siding with us? Like, all of a sudden, now that he's gotten his gold yachts and his millions of dollars in his bank account, now all of a sudden he's like, oh, I can't believe you guys are falling for it.
Yeah, I guess. Sarge, you're tap your microphone for a second. Okay, all right. It seemed a little weird. I was like, is your audio coming through that microphone? So, let's go to what we've been playing. Let me get that. Where is that? There it is. Okay.
Have I played Grounded since last week? I don't think I have. Has it been a week?
I don't know what you did since the last time we played, so I don't know if you played Grounded.
I think the last time I played was with you, so it's been a whole week that I didn't play Grounded. I'm a little concerned.
I played this weekend by myself, but I popped in, did a couple things like building wise, and then I've been on actually last weekend. No, I played Battlefield 6 beta.
Yeah.
since the last time we played. So I
Yeah,
logged in.
the beta took up,
I haven't
the
played
beta
round
took up
two.
much of the time. That's what it was. The beta took up most of the time.
Yeah,
That's
Battlefield
right.
6 beta, and then I played Battlefield 1. I played Battlefield 5, and then played a lot of Battlefield this week. I played 3 different Battlefields.
You're getting the comparison on how.
Well, I'm getting the
on how it
comparison,
works.
but I'm also like I'm excited for Battlefield 6. But then when I played the beta, I was like, I'm just gonna go play Battlefield 1 because it's like smoothed out 9 years of development after the fact. You know what I mean? Like it's a really good spot. Battlefield 5 I played. I enjoyed myself with that for a little bit. But Battlefield 6, I guess we could talk about it. Like I played the beta a little bit today, the second week. I don't know if you've touched any of the stuff. Is there anything else before you talk about Battlefield? Did you play anything else?
We're not talking about Battlefield yet. We're not throwing hand
Yeah.
grenades this early. I didn't play a lot. I played the Battlefield beta, and then I've been on this kick playing multiplayer with Company Heroes 3, and there's a new patch coming out for Hell Let Loose about tank upgrades. They're doing like a whole thing on tanks, and so the community is kind of like torn between what they're trying to do. It's going to change the meta of the game, and I think the developers think it's helping it, but really everyone's looking at it. And we're like, that's just going to fuck up the game.
Are they going to bring tanks into the older maps?
No, it's not. It's not that they're bringing tanks on older maps. It's the timing on when the tank is ready. It's the amount of fuel it takes to get a tank into the game. It's the time that once a tank dies, how long before it respawns. And they're saying that the meta is just to get the heavy tank and that's it. So they're trying to make the light tanks and the medium tanks viable. So they're making it harder to get a heavy tank. And then when you get the heavy tank and you lose it, it's harder for it to come back. So it's like if you're good in a tank and I get a heavy and I'm able to take out the other guy's heavy, then I'm pretty much going to run the map.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Like
they're trying to make it fair. But what's going to end up happening is, and everyone's already telling them this, like, don't do this. You're gonna mess up the game worse. Like, make the tank more expensive, maybe, so people have to like harbor. Like, it takes longer to get the tank out.
Don't make the time longer. Just make it more expensive.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's
because you can get the resources and stuff, right? But
resources is time.
No, I understand that, but you can
they're
have
talking
a group of people
they're
get
talking
resources.
About a spawn. Yeah, but they're talking about a spawn. Like after you lose the initial, like everybody gets one, and then after the initial one is lost,
it might be 6 minutes.
There's a clock that goes on before you can buy another one, and they want that to be long. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. No, they shouldn't do that. They should just do it on resources because you could make the resources faster because you have more people going out to get the resources, right?
Well, you don't get resources. You get a certain amount, and then you building the nodes gives you extra.
Correct.
So you would want to make sure that when you build your nodes, that you build them someplace where they don't get destroyed, which would give the other team incentive to send the recon team in the back to try to kill those.
Changes the dynamic of the game because then it turns into find the other person's node.
Well, it could, but lazy works. It's this gaming, bro. Lazy works. The lazy method is I put my best team inside of a tank. And if they're in the heavy tank and they're able to kill the other heavy tank, then they pretty much have run of the map. Because the heavy tank can take out other tanks with like one shot because they know where to shoot. You know what I mean?
They need to put something in the game where you can defend against the heavy tank if you don't have a tank.
The other thing that they're trying to say is they want to put, and they're all screaming about this too. The other thing is they're saying they want to put a sweet spot on the heavy tank that if you're able to hit it with a medium tank that it'll do more damage. Okay. And I'm like, that's not going to work because as soon as people figure out where that is, then you eliminate the reason why I have a heavy tank.
Correct.
Right. So they're trying to fix.
They're trying to make it super realistic, but at the same time,
you don't need to.
They're ruining the gamified of what the game is.
Yep.
Yeah. Sort of like what happened to I haven't played it in years. What was that other top-down? Oh, Foxhole.
Yeah, I can't play that anymore.
They've added so much stuff in that game. It's like playing Real War.
Yeah, right? I know, but I can't do it. Only the diehard people are playing that game.
You know, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. They've made it so they went all in on the more intensified for the people that are playing that game. So like any any person outside is like, yeah, I'm not touching this. This is way too complicated.
Yeah, but the guys who, I'm not trying to say anything bad about people in general, but I'm like, it takes a very meticulous mind and an OCD type of character to set up the economics needed for that game to flow correctly.
Right, you need to have a leader.
Like you have to have somebody in charge.
Yes.
Right.
It's
like
look,
having
people
it's
in
like
Battlefield
having like,
don't even want to pick up a medic. You think that these people are going to play a game like Foxhole or Hell Let Loose? No, not going to happen.
Right. The people that are playing Foxhole have like analytic degrees, like economics degrees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they figure out how
they're playing this game to relax.
Right. They're figuring out the way to get to the heavy tank and the heavy weapons as fast as possible.
Right.
So they know where to set up the resources.
Yeah.
They know where to set up the factories, because remember, steps count, right? Steps count. Yep. Like if it takes me 20 steps to get to a crate and then a truck comes and picks up the crate, like they know where to build the factories to get the most speed out of them.
Most efficient.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
These are people, and I'm not making fun of them. These are the people that when they're not playing the game, they're doing spreadsheets and mapping out stuff to do exactly what you said. I was at work the other day. They're like lawyers and doctors, right? And they're like, I was at work the other day, and I planned this out, and I'm just sending it to you guys to Reddit and see what you guys think about this whole thing. Oh yeah, it looks great. Like they have like maps planned out and different things.
But you have to have both sides of the coin, right? You have to have the guys that understand the vehicles and the combat, and you have to have the guys that know how to build everything, because these guys can't do anything unless these guys build it. Like you have to understand, like when you, all right, let's just give an example. Let's say, for instance, when you spawn as a Battlefield player, right? You've got 2 grenades, you got 5 clips, you got your med pack, you got your flare, and you got a grenade, right? Or a couple grenades, right? I start the match, I'm running around, right? If I die, right, I just respawn, right?
Right.
In that game, when you die, you lose the gun, the ammunition, and everything's on the ground. Like you don't get it back; it's gone.
You're talking about
on your body, on your body, it's gone. So when you spawn back in again, you have to get all that shit again. You have to get all that stuff again, which means somebody has to be building this shit,
right? Or go find the body where you were.
Yeah, but you're not going to find the body in no man's land. People are just running around and bombing stuff.
You have to go to the supply place and then pick up new weapons and new ammo that you just lost.
So like if people are upset about how Battlefield works, you would have a complete and utter conniption on how you understand how Foxhole works. Like if someone fires 1,000 bullets, somebody had to make those 1,000 bullets. Like that's correct. That's the level that we're at. That's ridiculous. That's why I couldn't play it. I'm like, it's too much. I'm like, it's too much. It's not fun. It's too much.
What I find funny is a tank commander in Foxhole. Altern made a joke about it yesterday when we were playing Battlefield 1. He's like, we played so hardcore that it was so realistic that we were veterans at, like, you can get discounts at a place. You're like, I'm a veteran of a Battlefield 1, right? Like that's how realistic it was. Foxhole, when you see a tank commander, like that's their alter ego of like from where they were in real life. They're like Ted from like Cincinnati. But in that game, they're Commander Ted, and they're of the 8th Battalion of the tank.
Yeah, I didn't find it fun. I find it fascinating. Number one, that the game is still being played.
Oh yeah, it's super popular.
Which shows the dedication.
Super popular within that.
Yeah, which to me shows a dedication for a specific type of like-minded person that wants to play that kind of game, because it's a perpetual war. It goes on 24/7. 365. It never stops. Right? It's the best example I can give you is PlanetSide. But with PlanetSide, you had resources that were generated. You could build the tank stuff. This one, you have to actually make the resources in order to make the weapons. Like, it's worse. Right? So, like,
there's about 2 million people that bought Foxhole. Almost 3 million people bought Foxhole.
And we talk
and there
about
are 11,791 from 2.9 years ago concurrent. Every day, 24-hour peak, about 3,500 people.
And I told you before, the sweet spot for a specific type of game is between 2 and 3 million. We've talked about this. It's like a group of people who like a specific type of game, 2 or 3 million people. That's why back in the old days, when you sold 6 million, it was a big deal, because a lot of people were like 6 million. But 2 or 3 million is like, that's the group that wants the game
for that kind of game.
For back in the day. Like today, if you sell 3 million, you fail. Like AAA. Like if you sell 3 million copies, you failed. Like this is what I'm saying. Like the numbers.
Foxhole's been out
yeah,
for
but
a while.
the numbers have shifted, man. The numbers have shifted. Right. So I play Baldur's Gate every week.
Yep.
So I'm definitely playing Baldur's Gate. And between Company Heroes 3, Battlefield beta,
2017, man, Foxhole still here.
I find some time in between, but that's all I've been playing right now. I'm just kind of chilling. I'm gonna see how this weekend's beta goes. I don't foresee anything new happening besides the same stuff I'm already seeing, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Battlefield. I played Battlefield 6. I played Battlefield 1. Played Battlefield 5. I gotta tell you, man. I probably said it before with Battlefield. I love Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 is probably one of my when it first came out.
But you see the flow, though, right?
Yeah. Battlefield 1 when it first came out, I liked it. I didn't love it, but the more it was out and they fixed it, because every single Battlefield game since Bad Company 2 has been broke at launch. Every single one. 3, 4, Hardline, 1. Like they've all been broke. Every single one. Okay, so I don't expect anything different. I had a video about this, about is the hype real or trust issues, or do I have trust issues? And I think it's a little bit of both. I think the hype is too real, too over above, and I also think I have trust issues with EA and Battlefield. But Battlefield 1 has got this like sweet spot. It's just so good, and it has the most players, but not the most sales, right? Because they stopped keeping track of it when it came out in 2016 or whatever.
Yeah, we know.
But you could always find a full lobby in Battlefield 1. It's 9 years old. 9 years old, full lobbies.
Well, it's a full lobby with a lot of restrictions.
Sure, well, no, I've been playing for the last 3 days. So yesterday it was only that hardcore.
Is somebody just kind of bouncing around? Is that how it works?
Was the guy whoever started it, and people just stay in there. And this is a conversation I want to have, because Battlefield games, because someone asked me a message about Battlefield. They're like, is EA trying to figure out how all the group of people leave that game like a couple of months afterwards? And I'm like, that's every game that they leave. Every game. The base, the peak, and the dips and the valleys, right? If you take a line through that peaks and valleys, that is the player base, right? Once it all settles, like when the hype of this game settles, and 3 months from now, regardless, obviously there's Portal now and there's the BR. That middle ground of when this goes like this, that's the player base. That's the player base that will be playing this game for the next 3 years, or whenever the next Battlefield comes out. Because when we played Battlefield 1942,
different time.
No, I know, but we played that game until Vietnam came out, and then we played Vietnam until 2 came out, and then we played Vietnam or 2 to the next one, and so on and so forth, and that's what it was, right? When they play now, there's so many different types of games now. When 42 came out, there wasn't other games like 1942. 42 was that experience, right? Call of Duty was the smaller area. 42 was a larger area, right? So Battlefield 1, for 9 years old, man, and you can still find lobbies. And I went to Battlefield 5, and you can still find full lobbies. And that's 7 years old.
Well, you should be able to.
That's 7 years old. 2042 is getting more traction now because of Battlefield 6, right? So because Battlefield 6 is out, it like rekindled everyone's love for like Battlefield. So everyone's going back to 3, to 4, to 1, to 5, to 2.
Well, because the serious ones are looking to see if there's differences, what the differences are, because they're trying to assess if the game is progressed, not progressed.
Well,
like if you're playing an old game,
yeah. Well, they also looking at it going, do I want to pay $70 for this game, or $80 or $90 for whatever edition, or do I just go back and play the older game?
Well, the problem, we're already talking about the game, right? We're only supposed to be talking about things that we played. We're already saying.
I did. I played Battlefield 1. I played Battlefield.
Yeah.
I played Battlefield 5.
Continue. Let's put this conversation on hold, and we're gonna just put this to the side. Continue on to whatever.
Let me say Battlefield 1. Okay, yes. Battlefield 1. I love the destruction in that game. I love the maps in that game. The maps in that game. I don't think there's a bad map in that game.
There's a couple.
The fort one is a meat grinder. That's bad.
Well, the fort's not really a meat grinder, but the fort map, when we played it, reminded me exactly of the ridge map. The ridge map for Battlefield 6. the one that get the demo map, the one on the cliffside on the side, right? The Fortress Foul is basically the ridge. It's the same thing. The water is the cliff, right? And the fort's on one side, your base, and the other side's got the beach, and you have a very narrow strip.
Of the different one. I'm talking about the prison. I'm sorry, the prison. The prison is the bad map.
The prison.
Yeah, the one that you're talking about, the one that we started yesterday, where we were in that fort. Yes, that's exactly like the peak. Yeah. It's exactly like that.
Same time. You're very limited movement. You can't really flank that much. It's a meat grinder. The snipers are on the hill. The hill's on the one side, so that's where all the snipers go. Like, you see how things are in that game. It's done very well, and the flow of that game, I think, does something. Like when you take over the point, the guy blows the whistle, and everyone's
screaming, and
right. And so, like, you see people, like, it's
even
not
when you start running, when you stab the person with the bayonetta, you know what I mean, or the bayonet. It's like. Ah, you start, and that's how people run across the map to get there faster.
But then you immediately go really slow.
Yeah,
if you know the distance, you do it. But if you get cut out in the open, you're slow. You're done. But the flow state of the game, when you get to the point where you're ducking and weaving and driving, it's really done well, and everybody's kind of like in the same flow state. It's just done well.
Battlefield does a good balance, because if you're losing and you lose the first match, it gives you reinforcements with either the blimp, the train, the tank.
It was all token stuff. It was just
I know that, but it brings that, it changes the landscape of it, was because if you got stuck, they're like, here's a train. It's gonna get you pushed through the next zone and the next zone. So it starts to make that where you're getting your ass kicked, all of a sudden it swings the balance a little bit, and it feels like a much closer game, right?
I'll give you an example, right? If people understand how the game works, right, the game really is just a more complicated version of paper, rock, scissors. It just is. It just is, right? So what ends up happening is, if you have players on the team that know how to play, you can see it right away. It's not like, oh, we're bogged down because the blimp's on the map. Like, it's not difficult. Like, if you're on a map where people know what's going on and they get the blimp, the guys on the side with the blimp get in the planes and they immediately start bombing the AA guns, because they know where the AA guns are. That way the blimp can do what the blimp is supposed to do. If you're on a team that doesn't understand what to do, then the blimp is gone, because they're really good at it now. The blimp's gone like in less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes. It's gone. Yeah. And the blimp just goes down. But so it's a token piece once you know how to play the game. But if you're playing with people that understand both sides of what you're supposed to do, then it benefits you. But it's not like this epic turnaround because I get the blimp, I'm going to win, or I get the tank and I'm going to win. I remember getting into the heavy tank, which I barely see on that map, because I barely ever see that map.
Twice when I played this past. Yeah.
But when you get that tank, like, everyone in the server
changes
is shooting rockets
grenades,
at you
immediately. Yeah.
Like, they're like, tanks out, Rocket Man. Like, I even hear the song. I even hear the Rocket Man song, because I know that no matter what I'm doing with that tank, like, just ping, 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 ping. You just hear just rockets coming in from everywhere. You know what I'm talking about, the rocket gun. Right?
Yeah.
The rocket gun. Yeah. It's insane.
What I also like about, if you look at Battlefield 1 maps, they do a very, very good job with the openness, right? Openness of Dead Man Land to get to, like, the blockade,
but you
to get into, like, a
vehicles.
Village. Yeah. No, I know. And then they do a very good job. Like, there's a lot of maps in Battlefield 1. There's not a lot of vehicles because it's World War I, right?
I know that, but if you notice on most of the maps, like, people just like to run. They like to get their guy. They like to see the guy run, right? And you see all these guys shooting at you from afar. I don't know what it is, but, like, there are 5 vehicles here and 3 horses. If everybody would just dogpile onto all the vehicles and just go, you would get there faster. But, like, everyone wants, like, this, I'm going to get in close and going to snipe. Like,
No, you're gonna die because there's like a crate, a tree, and a hill, and that's the only cover you
and
have.
Six guys are diving behind the trait, the tree, or the hill. Yeah.
But it's
people just throw grenades just to make holes in the ground so they can get into
sit in the ground.
So they can get in the ground. Yeah.
Which is an amazing tactic if you're in the open. Yeah.
I really like Battlefield 1. I tried to play Battlefield 5. Now, Battlefield 5 I didn't put a lot of time into when it came out originally. I played it this weekend. It moves much faster than Battlefield 1. Okay.
Sure.
And man, there is a ton of open space because it's like farmlands in Europe. You know what I mean? So there's like
but the same thing. They give you plenty of vehicles to move around in,
and plenty of cover because you
go
into the wheat fields.
You have to move. Like, the tactics are you move from cover to cover. People just like to get to where they want to go, so they run into an open field. And if you're a sniper, you just pick any high ground. You're like, I know they're coming because they're impatient. Yep. Instead of going to A, B, and C, they want to go to A to C. And I know I'll just wait here. Yep, there's another one.
That's exactly why I like playing certain game modes too.
And
right?
then you hear the guys are mad. Goddamn sniper! I'm like, bro, you ran into an open field. It's a war game. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is my favorite mode. I think right now is operations in both of those games. There's grand operations in Battlefield 5, operations in Battlefield 1. There's no operations in Battlefield 6, as I can tell. At least I don't think they have.
We don't know.
No, I think when you look at their site, they don't have it. They don't have it listed.
It could be called something else. We don't know.
It's basically Breakthrough, which is a little different. But I really like what they've done to Battlefield 1 and 5 well after. So then I look at this, and we'll end it here and go into the top stories. But it makes me wonder. Like 2042, they're still adding stuff to that game. Like there's rumors right now they're going to be adding another vehicle and like a new event type of thing that's happening in 2042. And a lot of people, obviously the game came out, it was fucking broke. Literally, it was broke. Like it was glitching through and the maps were bad, design, everything. But 3 years from now, 2042, because they still support all of these games. Like you could still go back and play all of these games. You could play 3 and 4. You can play 1. Right? Hardline, I don't think you can play. I don't think anyone's playing Hardline. Okay? But it's crazy to me that you can go back and play these games and still find a match.
Yeah, but you should always, there should always be a server that holds 10 or 20 games that should be running for the games because that's what that is. Now, if you decide not to, they should always allow somebody else to run a server. They should let the public, they want to run a server and give them the open source code, let them run the server.
I think they want people to use the new Portal as to make these like crazy maps, but I think Portal is, and I said this with the last Portal, but they didn't turn out to be that way. This Portal is that if everyone's playing Battlefield 3 and 4 and 1 and 5, and you can make those things in this thing with updated graphics, this could be really game changing for Battlefield.
I'll wait for the Battlefield section of this conversation. I can't even get into it right now.
Well, I'm just saying because of the Portal. All right, let's go to the top stories.
All right, I judging by what's been going on for this last week, I can tell the focus fire of journalists being paid to write articles. Can you feel it? Because I can feel it.
I haven't actually noticed it. I just been reading the articles.
Yeah, it's just the number of articles and there's a pattern. That's just how it goes now.
All right, well, let's go to the first story here. A Grand Theft Auto series has sold around 455 million units. It's insane. Okay, this game is 13 years old.
Well, the last one, the whole series, not one game.
Oh, well, that's true. It says it does
the
say
series. Yeah,
I was going to say, well, Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 200 million and 220 million itself. So that's half of the entire series. But 455 million units. Grand Theft Auto is one of the most popular gaming franchises in history, having released several iconic titles, including San Andreas, Vice City. Vice City is my favorite by far. I think the music does it. GTA 5, amongst others. GTA 5 is one of the longest-running games available today, spanning 3 generations of consoles and accounting for nearly half of the franchise sales. Okay, like that's crazy. Just 5 alone. It's 3 consoles. 3 consoles, and and you know they're going to port it to the 4th console when it comes out, right?
But if you think about it, right? If you think about it, for what we know now about netcode, online capabilities, peer-to-peer, like all the stuff that we've read about over the years and how it actually works, the fact that GTA 5, okay, released on a 360 is still incredible.
Yeah.
Is incredible to me.
And then it went from third person to first person when they released it for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but
right?
I think they were probably, I'm sure all the stuff's probably either came out already and I didn't catch it, or it will come out eventually. I really think that they didn't want to sell that on that system. I think they really wanted to wait till the new system, but they couldn't because they knew the player base of the 360 at that time. Remember, the 360 was the best selling of that generation. It was the only generation that they beat PlayStation. Right?
No, they didn't beat them. They came really close though.
Close.
They were close. They were off by like 2 or 3 million, something like that. I think it was 88
so
million,
a lot of
84
people,
million.
A lot of people had PS3.
Yeah, it was 160 million people that bought a console between those two.
So they wanted to make sure that they got as many sales as possible when they sold that game. And it was hilarious that they made an update for the new system came out. They just buy it again.
Well, they're still supporting that. They supported that system for 11 years.
Well, that's because there wasn't a lot of innovation going on, right? Things were. Do you remember why? Do you remember why we sat in that system for 11 years? There's a lot of shit going on. There was a lot of shit going on in the tech sector. In the tech sector, where there wasn't a lot of innovation.
The early, it was like 2007, 8. There was a lot of shit going on,
right? Like it was too expensive. It was all costs against them for making hardware, and they were like they didn't want to because they knew that if they tried to upgrade with the hardware that they had at that time, that the console would have been priced out of reach for most people, and they would have lost too many on the console. So they just made the console that they had work. So everything was catered towards that console. And if you think about it, right, and this is the issue that I have now, is the fact that they were able to be successful, both Sony and Microsoft, to have a console for 11 years, gave everybody time to learn the machine, learn what it could do, and make several titles within that time span.
Because, they pushed that system to the end. Yeah.
Right. They were able to make the best games possible for that hardware. But now you want the hardware to end in 5 years. It takes 6 years to make a fucking game. What are we talking about? How do you make a game for a console, for a AAA game for a console, if it takes you 5 or 6 years and you want the console generation to be 5 or 6 years? So you're saying the dev team maybe gets one game for the dev cycle? Like, it doesn't make sense. Makes no sense.
Yeah, so here it says one of the slides revealed that Grand Theft Auto's franchise has sold nearly 455 million units, out of which GTA 5 has sold 215 million units of that. GTA 5 also reached 1 billion in retail sales, faster than any piece of entertainment released in history, and has been the best-selling title in the past 10 years in the U.S. That's insane. It's been the #1 selling game basically every year, right? Red Dead Redemption series has also surpassed 104 million units in sales. Red Dead Redemption accounted for 77 million of those units. And NBA 2K franchise sold 162 million units. And Borderlands series has sold 94 million units. Sid Meier's Civilization, that's not how you spell civilization, but Civilization has sold over 77 million units.
He doesn't need to hit spell check. He's a journalist.
In other news, Take-Two CEO has dodged a question on whether or not GTA 6 will be priced at $80, stating that the upcoming title will have a fair price. Additionally, the longest service actor in GTA doubts he will also include GTA 6. What are your thoughts on Grand Theft Auto? So 455, man. This right here, well, let's say 215, right? 215 million. I've said, I'm on record saying multiple times, Grand Theft Auto 6 will break pre-orders day 1, week 1, month 1, year 1. I don't know if it beats the 215 million units. I mean, obviously we have to wait 7 years, 8 years, 9 years to see how much it sells. But that's insane. 215. If they have a second game that gets over 200 million units, that's insane.
Well, here's the issue, right? You and chat have discussed this multiple times throughout the years. Okay. The transfer rate of people moving from last gen consoles to new gen consoles isn't doing well. The adoption rate is low. Yeah, people are buying Xboxes and PlayStations, yes, but not in numbers great enough.
Right.
So I think that if I'm Rockstar, if you think about this, I'm sure that they probably had to sit down and they were discussing whether or not that they needed to make this game work on last gen systems, or suck it up and just deal with current gen systems and just release online and hope the money flows in like it did for that one, because they had a longer period of time to work up the online on those
No way
platforms.
this is going on the
right?
Xbox One, PlayStation 3,
But this
or
is my
PlayStation
point.
4.
But this is my point. I think because the adoption rate for consoles isn't good enough, I think they're deciding that when they release the game, that if they release it only on current gen consoles, that everything gets released together. Console generation that we're on and PC all at once. Because I don't think they want to wait to see the adoption rate numbers come up for them to be selling more copies.
Yeah, that the problem
They
is
want. They said the amount of money they spent on this game, bro. Now I understand it doesn't matter because GTA Online is paying everything. It's paid for everything.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But the problem here is there's only 38 million Xboxes out there, and there's 75 million PlayStations.
And let's not be greedy and say everyone's getting one.
Right. Let's just say one third of each division gets it, right? For the first, right off the bat. So you're talking about 10 to 15. Well, you're talking about 15 to 17 million off of PlayStation buy it. Okay. Out of the 70 million, that's 17 million copies.
A third people's good. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, a third would be like 22.
A third,
right?
a third total in a specific amount of time, not like all at once immediately.
Right. And then Xbox gets 1/3 of that, so you're getting 10. That's 22. That'd be 10 million plus another. They're at 35 million copies sold, 40 million copies sold.
That's doable because that's a Call of Duty release.
Correct, and that's just on this system, and that's not including PC. That's just including, right? Those are people that would buy a PlayStation for the very first time. Those are people that would buy Xbox for the very first time, right? But then after that, this is where it gets a little rocky, right? Because then obviously it's the PC version gets released. If they want the same numbers that they're getting here with 215 million, keep that consistent, obviously they have to put it for the next gen system. They have to open up the doors a little bit more and how to get out there more. We've read articles. They think they're going to break $1 billion in the first 7 hours or whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean?
Depending on what they charge for and what the special edition nonsense is going to be, it's possible. But let's remember, it's probably not releasing on old gen consoles. It's new console only.
Yeah, I think it's only new consoles. Yeah.
So the numbers are limited. The numbers
which
are
is going to be
limited.
even more impressive when it hits 45 million copies sold. You know what I mean?
Well, if what you believe a fair price is.
We
throw words around a lot in this chat and in the industry period. They just throw words around.
A couple weeks ago I said it would be awesome if it came out at $60 because then it would sell. It would sell. So I mean, it's going to sell like a shit ton of copies regardless.
But that's how they think anyway. They say they know it's going to sell.
Why charge 60? Because we can charge 70 or 80, right?
70 or 80. Yeah. But you have to understand, their price tag does set a precedent, though.
Sure, because this is what the whole industry was talking about until Nintendo came out with an $80 Mario Kart.
Well, Mario Kart's not worth $80. I got news for you. It's not worth $80. So here's how it's going to go down, right? You can assign value any way you want, right? I assign value based on what it is and what other things are like it, if it's above or below that. So if we're going to call, let's just say, for instance, we call Grand Theft Auto 6, let's say, I don't want to use the term, I'm going to use it for this example. Let's say it's a quadruple A, just by the amount of money they spent on it, right? Not the quality.
Not like
not
Skull
the
and
quality.
Bones, right?
Not the quality, just because
right, the budget.
The discrepancy is the budget, not how good it is, right? So let's just say it's a quadruple A game. Let's just say it is. And they come out, and it's $80. Now, if that game is $80, then fuck you, Mario Kart's not $80. Like the rest of it's below that. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't charge the same price as a Grand Theft Auto. Like your ass has got to come down to like 65 or 50. You know what I mean? Like if we're paying 80 for this, your piece of shit is not 80, right? The other thing would be if they do what you said and they said, hey, let's throw some hand grenades in the industry and we're going to charge $65 or $60.
Then the whole
GTA
industry's
6.
like, what the fuck, right?
The whole industry is fucked at that point because nothing compares to that at that price point. And then where do you go? Right. So I think no matter what they pick, right, they fuck a lot of people because your piece of shit go-kart game isn't $80 if Grand Theft Auto is $80.
Right.
It just isn't.
The industry's calling them up. You cannot come in under 80, okay? You can't.
Right.
Hey, we're putting Madden out over here for 70.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if they were trying to sell as many as possible, because remember, there are no limitations. Nobody's going to run out of games. Right. The game just downloads to your system. We're done with this pre-order nonsense because there's not enough copies. Go fuck yourself. If they're trying to sell as many games as fast as possible, I got to be honest with you. I think that if I was them, I think I would do a pre-order, but it's $60. Right?
That's what I said. That's what I said a couple weeks ago.
If they do a
I said,
pre-order,
if you made a pre-order for $60 early,
but they sign a date. They're like, by this date,
it goes up to 70.
You have until this date. Like if you wanted to sell as many copies as possible, and you said Grand Theft Auto 6 was $60 on a pre-order,
right? You pre-order now for $60. Everyone's
that's
like, yes.
how you That's how you get. That's how you sell $1 billion plus worth.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Immediately.
Then you watch. See, well, this is what I said. I said early access type of game should be cheaper. I said if they do a pre-order, if you pre-order a game, it should be cheaper than when you buy it after the fact of day one, because that would incentivize people. Oh shit, they're giving me a discount up front, right? But this is what the way they would do it. They'd be like, well, regular games are $100, and we're gonna if you pre-order, it's $80. Like, go screw yourself, right? Like if you pre-order early, we'll get you $60 because they're going to make that money back with the microtransactions and all the stuff in GTA Online. 100%. You don't believe that if someone paid $60 for that game for pre-order, they're not going to spend $20 of shark cards inside of online later down the road?
But that's my point, right? My point is the game itself is just a store that sells shit in the game. That's what it is. You play through the story, that's great. Then the online part comes on. Right? If you can't sit down with a normal person and discuss how Rockstar hasn't made a game since all the games that were in line to be made by Rockstar, they just stopped because Grand Theft Auto is making enough revenue monthly to sustain an entire company to make 100%. Grand Theft Auto 6. So if you don't think that they don't want to get that game into as many hands as possible so they can start up the money machine again, right? I don't know why you wouldn't sell it at a pre-order for $60 just to get it in everyone's hard drive.
Titan says $70 with a $10 shark card, so it's $60, right? But it's $70, right? You know what I mean? So,
right,
$70 with the $10 shark card. So
right, good point. Good point.
Right? They could do stuff like that, but I still think, look, with all these pundits out there saying, "Oh, they got to raise the price to $80," I'm sure they are. But either
way, the gaming industry loses. They can't charge.
Yes,
they
because
can't
this
charge
game comes out, it's got
for a
so
fucking
much
go-kart game.
Value and everything else. Like you can't look at Grand Theft Auto at 70 and Madden Football at 70, right?
No.
There's no fucking way.
No.
So we'll see what happens.
Because you're setting the precedent of what that type of game is, right? A quality AAA title, or in this case, for the sake of argument, a quadruple A product,
right? It's quadruple A.
has to work properly out of the box, figuratively, out of the box. Well, actually, literally, out of the box, right? Has to work. So if the game's broke on release.
Krebsy says we said this a couple weeks ago too when we were talking about this $50 single player, and they did that. They lowered the price of the single player and then charged, I think it was like 10 or 15 for the online play as well. That's another thing. They could sell the game that's just the single player aspect of the game standalone without charging the online, and then online sold separately. So it could come out at $50, $60, and then if you want the online, it's $70 or $80. You know what I'm saying? They can do that as well.
Because maybe you don't want to play online right away. You don't care.
Right? Maybe you're not interested on the online. Maybe you just want to play the single player aspect of it.
And this is why this game is so important for the industry, because either way, somebody's getting fucked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Nintendo and the rest of these guys cannot charge for their piece of shit games, run-of-the-mill games. You cannot charge the same price as a quadruple A game. It's not possible. I wouldn't buy it.
Well, continue with Grand Theft Auto. Strauss Zelnick says, Take-Two boss is really confident that Grand Theft Auto 6 won't be delayed again. He says, my level of conviction is very, very high, right?
I don't believe it was delayed.
No, it wasn't delayed. I mean, well, they never put a date out, right? So he's just saying he's saying it won't be delayed again.
Yeah, let's make sure we stay with the same language, though.
Yeah,
because they never gave an actual date. If you don't give me a date, then it's not delayed.
But he admitted to it then, because they're in their end there was a date that they postponed it to the following year, right?
But that's not a date, not to.
But it wasn't a date for us publicly.
That's correct.
Yeah, because him saying, "I'm really confident that Grand Theft Auto won't be delayed again," that means it was delayed on their end, on their side. Just wasn't publicly of our knowledge that they had a date behind the scenes, right?
If I'm following the corpo logic, if you don't give me a date, then
Correct.
Nothing's delayed.
Yeah. So he's saying, though, regardless, it's not going to get pushed again. So,
I mean, it's not pushed. Listen, do you think Rockstar wants to release the game during the summer when the kids are out of school, or do you think they want to release it near the holidays so more people get it? So, are we looking at most people who are available to play a game, or most people who are going to get a gift for Christmas type of thing? Like, what do you think? What do you think it would be? If I want as many people as possible to get this game,
I mean, you would push it closer to the holidays,
right? Because everyone gets
you would come out the October, November. Because not only are you getting the people that want the game, but you're getting people that want the game that can't afford the game, and they're also getting it as gifts. You know what I mean? For the holiday, for Hanukkah, for Christmas.
But it's not the same thing anymore. Where if I buy a game during the holiday, it's on sale. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So because there's no sale like that for this type of game, because no box store is selling it.
Unfortunately,
like Target, Best Buy, and Circuit City in the old days, if they got a new game in and they wanted to get move it,
release,
right? They would give you a discount on the game just to get people into the store, because those type of box stores just want you in the store. They're not looking at Grand Theft Auto as the money machine that it is. But now that we have the game standing all by itself on its own, there's nothing else around it, no sale about it.
Yeah,
I would think it would be a summer release because more people get to play it.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like in the past, it would be the holidays, but now it doesn't matter, right? Like in the old days, you would put commercials on television. Now you just do a tweet, right? The landscape has completely changed.
The advertisements right now is completely changed. I'm trying to figure out who is selling advertising space on YouTube for 15-second ads for Borderlands 4. I'm trying to figure this out. There are 15-second ads. All they show is a guy shooting something else, and then the three games on the thing: normal, deluxe, and supreme. It's 15. I've counted it. I've used a stopwatch. And I'm like, they just keep 15 seconds.
I said I don't have ads on YouTube, so I don't see any of this.
Yeah, 15-second ads. I'm like, who's charging for 15 seconds?
Well, they probably had a deal where they're like, we'll do 15-second ads for 6 times a day for.
No, I get it.
The next,
I just find it humorous. Like leading up,
$1 million.
Like we're a month out. We're a month out, right? We're a month out. There should be some kind of
not even
things leading in.
We're like 3 weeks.
I'm getting the same there's two different ones. I'm getting the 15-second ads sporadically throughout the day.
They just need Randy Pitchford to come on and say,
I can guarantee you right
now.
Don't
support Borderlands 4.
I can guarantee you right now, the staff got together. They bought Randy a gift. They put him on a fucking island someplace on vacation, and they told him no fucking phone, right? And they said, you just shut your mouth for the next 30 days.
Next month and a half, yeah.
For the next 30 days, you just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Randy, you're going on vacation. He's like, no, but Borderlands is coming out. They're like, Randy, you shut the fuck up.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
he's the boss, but I'm telling you, somebody else probably sat down with him and like, dude, you got to just stop.
Yeah. Don't talk about ice cream shops. Don't talk about.
Don't go
guns,
online.
Don't talk about it.
Don't answer the trolls' questions. Just we're 30 days out, bro. Just shut the fuck up for 30 days.
All right. Well, we're talking. We got to. Since we're talking about Borderlands, let's talk about it. Okay. Borderlands, Sarge. Borderlands 4 will feature 30 billion guns.
How do you want me to approach this one? Because
any way you want to. Go ahead.
I have
30 billion guns.
I have a mountain of bullshit we could just talk about. I don't care about the number of guns in this game. That is meaningless, right? Yeah. Just like
it's 1,000 planets,
right? 1,000 planets to explore. It doesn't matter. If I see the format of a gun, let's call the gun that it's a Torg weapon, right? Just for the sake of argument, it's a Torg weapon and it's a rifle, right? It has 4 different changeable parts. If I'm going to do the gun times the changeable parts squared 4 times, I get a number and I multiply that by like that's how you get that number. Right. Changing one aspect of a gun out of the 4 or 5 things on a gun and changing it and calling it a different gun so you can get to this 30 billion gun number is just asinine. Yeah, we get there's a lot of guns. But first of all, I won't be alive long enough to use them. And I'm going to figure out the best gun to use in the first hour. And in that hour, I'm going to eliminate 29,500,000,000 guns at that moment. 1 hour in, like 1 hour into the game, I will eliminate 29,500,000,000 guns. So all I have to worry about for the next 30 hours is the other 500 million guns. And I'm pretty sure I can chop that down in the next week. I can get that down to probably 10,000. Right. In 3 months, I'll have it down to 10 guns worth of damn, and it won't matter that this fucking number's on the screen. It doesn't fucking make sense. How is that an advertisement for anything?
Well, it's just it's a selling point. Oh, 30 billion.
It's not a selling point.
Oh my God. Right?
But
to me,
I have so many guns to collect.
Look, this 30 billion thing goes out the window if the drop rate is like it was. Now, they've already said legendaries won't drop like they did in Borderlands 3, right? But if they did, this 30 billion number is just completely asinine because you're like, well, Chad, does anybody know? Because I haven't been really paying attention to Borderlands 4. Can you shoot anybody and anybody that you shoot can drop something, or is it just bosses and chests?
I don't think they talked about that. We won't know until the game starts playing.
Right? Because if it's anyone drops anything and you shoot one of the midgets, and I'm still calling them midgets, I'm sorry. If you shoot one of the midgets, okay, and he drops a legendary, even though it's super high rate of not dropping now, but it drops, you picked up that gun at level 3, and that gun lasts you until level 27. Does it really matter? There's 30 billion guns with different scopes and different mags and stuff?
Well, I heard a bazillion guns from Borderlands 3, but for some reason, for some reason, when we had a weapon drop after we killed the boss, you and I got the same weapon.
Exact same gun.
The exact
same
weapon.
Gun with the exact same stats on the exact same person at the exact same time.
How does that work? How's that even possible?
Roic says anyone can drop anything.
How is that even possible? Right? How's that possible? How is it possible you and I got the same exact gun? Exactly the same gun, right? By that token, and by the way, it was a really good gun. It would eliminate half the weapons in your inventory anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. The whole point is you find a gun and you find the attributes on the gun. The attributes now everybody knows because you've played 3 Borderlands games, right? Or 5 Borderlands games, actually. Like, you know the gun. Like, you know Torg's explosive. So if I find a Torg, it's explosive. But it's the other additive things that give the gun the characteristics of something that either I'm going to use or I'm not going to use based on my attribute points and what skill points I have, right? That's what matters, right? If you like explosions, you try to spec out an explosion, right? But that eliminates all these other guns. It doesn't fucking matter, right? The chances of finding this weapon are high. Finding a legendary is supposed to be rare. That's fine. But to make you think that 30 billion guns is going to make you want to play this game forever, you know the guns you're going to get. You know what you're looking for. Right? The whole point of the game is to figure out what classes and the abilities do, and is the character fun to play. Right? That's what I want to hear from you. a month out. That's what I want to hear from
Right.
you. I don't want to hear about 30 billion guns. I don't give a fuck about your 30 billion guns. I care about what the character does, the story behind the character, and what the skill points and the abilities that they have. That's what I care about. That's it.
Yeah, so Water says they could say it's 30 billion guns, but who's going to keep count, right? Nobody, right?
Nobody.
And Pickleball here says, I just used the gun. I don't care anything else.
Yeah.
And I get that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're the reason we're talking about it is that they're advertising that there's 30 billion guns. You could have said 3 million. And it'll be like, holy shit, that's a lot of guns.
Thing.
Right?
Same thing.
Right. A million is the same as 3 million, which is the same as 10 million, which is the same as 30 billion. It doesn't matter because at that point, you're never, ever going to get close to this combination. Just like No Man's Sky said there's 18 quintillion planets. I was like, okay, great. I think I've played that game for 700 hours. 700 hours, and I've been to, I don't know, 200 planets. 200 planets out of 18 quintillion. Okay, I played Starfield for 230 hours, and I've been to, I don't know, 15 planets of 1,000. Okay, so it's absurd to even put this in there and be like, well, we've got 30 billion guns. Congratulations. You wasted your time of 29 billion, 500 of them.
I liked it when they used the ridiculous word before. Was it 3? It was 3 that said bazillion.
Yeah, bazillion. That's a joke, right?
Yeah, but that's more like this. That's more like the Borderlands humor, right?
Yeah.
There's so many guns. We made up a word.
We made up a word for it.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's how many guns there are.
That's but this is it's just not even an advertising point. Just dumb. Just I don't understand what you're trying to
You
sell.
know, someone should data mine. Someone should data mine it once the game comes out. It's completely launched. And data mine how many guns there actually are. And if it doesn't say 30 billion in there,
Can we get a class action lawsuit?
fucking class action lawsuit. That's
for
it.
false advertising. Class action for false advertising.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just funny. It's just funny. It's stupid, but it's funny.
Like you couldn't get sued for a bazillion because you don't even know what a bazillion is. But you put
bazillion doesn't.
But
What's
you
a
put
hotcake?
but you put
Right.
300. You put 300 billion. Right. You put 300 billion and you don't get that number. It's false advertising. we might have something here.
Oh, speaking of advertising, I want to switch gears a little bit to movie industry, right? So Superman just came out 5 weeks ago. 5 weeks ago.
It's just 5 weeks?
5 weeks ago, right? And the box office, I gotta look up the box office real fast. Let me look up box office for Superman. All right. Superman, let's see. Superman
Ooh, weapons
sits
is doing
at 585 million. Now, when the movie first came out, the Snyder cut haters, because I don't know if you know about this, Sarge. There's the Snyderverse against everyone else, and then there's everyone else against the Snyderverse, whatever, right?
Sure.
So the Snyderverse people were like, Man of Steel's a better movie than this. And everyone's like, fuck you, it's not. This is a much better movie, blah, blah, blah. It's 100 million short right now of Man of Steel that came out 13 years ago at no inflation, just as is, right? It's at 670 or 680 million dollars for Man of Steel 13 years ago. This is at 585. Ticket prices are double the price of what it was 13 years ago, right? So the average person back then paid $8. The average person now pays $16. So it means half of the people saw this movie less than the other movie, okay? And it still didn't even beat Man of Steel, okay? So now James Gunn is putting it out tomorrow. Tomorrow it comes out on the services, okay? So James Gunn confirms its Superman digital release date, tells fans to catch it while it's still in theaters, okay? You literally took an axe, right? Like Kathy Bates in Misery, and just broke his legs out. That's what you did to Superman right now, right? Clark Kent's sitting in the bed, and he just came over and just wiped out that thing because if it had a shot at all to beat 700 million to make money in the actual theater, you just killed that. Because
Labor Day was around the corner.
In 2 more weeks, it would have been in theaters for 45 days. Okay. Yeah. Right. Because right now it's been in theaters for 34. So it's 11 days short of 45 days. And it could have broke 600 million. It could have broke like 640, 650. Maybe this is some sort of genius chess move, right? He's like, well, you've seen it 6 times. Now go see it 7 times, domestic people, because It's coming out on DVD tomorrow. So go to the theater, watch it for the 7th time, and then purchase it, on the streaming services. I think he knows that it wasn't going to make any more money. And so they cut the legs off and want to make the $27 or whatever the hell it's going to cost to get people to watch it.
Well, we don't know that. You don't know the contract they have.
Yeah, I don't know the contract for that. But
Netflix, what they ever get paid for.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's coming to Netflix, but it says a post social media, Gunn's Superman home release is set for Friday, August 15th. He then indicated the movie will soon end in theatrical run by saying, or catch it while it's still in theaters. Assuming he means Superman's run in theaters ends this weekend, okay, which is kind of weird because now you can see it at home and it's also in theaters.
Isn't that bizarre? Aren't we living in a bizarro world, bro?
It is. It's like remember movies used to stay in the theater, and then once they left the theater, they didn't come to
a year.
Yeah, they didn't come to the home box office for
a year.
You missed it, forgot it was out there, and then all of a sudden they're like, Back to the Future is now on HBO, and you're like, oh my God, I totally forgot about Back to the Future. You know what I mean? Like you didn't know.
Well, back then it was 4 years.
Right, long time. Yeah.
Right, back then it was like 4 years. Now it's a year. It used to be a year. Now you're telling me the movie's not even out of the theater, and you're already releasing it. Yeah,
if this was a corpse, it's not even cold yet, right? Like you just killed the thing, and now you're already you're already moving it, right? So it says looking at the near $600 million haul for Superman, which also kicked off the reboot of DC Universe, is that good enough for DC Studio and parent company Warner Brothers? Who knows? Warner Brothers said today that Superman is the highest-grossing Superman film in the U.S. with more than $331 million at the domestic box office. I love how they have to do this, right? They have to take a win somewhere, right? They're like, even though we didn't make as much money as The Man of Steel 13 years ago, it's the #1 Superman movie domestically, and it's like, okay, congratulations. You still didn't make as much money as the last Superman film that came out 13 years ago, and you charged double the price. Like, think about that. You charged double the price and couldn't beat the movie from 13 years ago. It's insane. And they're like, yep, let's chop the legs off. Let's put it inside of, let's put it inside.
Yeah, but doesn't that piss off the theaters? Like, do the theaters make up a date when they let it go?
If I was the theater, I would change my business model. I wouldn't show any new movies in my theater. I would wait for it to come out on the streaming services. Yeah. And then put it in the theaters then and be like, hey, you want a theater experience of watching it, in the theater for a cheaper price? Because then you wouldn't have to share the revenue with the actual theater company, you know what I mean? With the actual movie studio. You would just rent it for $7 and then put it 100 people inside the room, and they didn't pay for the movie, but they bought the popcorn. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Is that even possible? Can you do that?
Sure, why not?
Well, do dollar theaters do that?
You don't have to. You're not charging for the movie, right?
Right.
You just charge the regular price for concession. You're not giving any part of it to the actual company anymore because you're just right.
It's just a strange time, man. I don't understand the fact that you could just.
How do they know if I'm a theater company? And I paid $7 to rent the movie and then show it to 100 people?
Yeah, but how do you feel?
How do they know I'm not charging for my house?
Cutting out the legs on a movie theater though. Like they make money. They make money after the certain percentage, right? You say it has to be there for a certain amount of weeks. So if all of a sudden
certain companies make it that way, what it is they get about 45 to 50% of all domestic sales. Okay, they have to split that with the theaters. So in the U.S., movie companies and production companies and stuff like that, they get 45 to 50% of the revenue. So
am I supposed to cut this number in half?
Yes.
Wait. So this number is not adjusted for what they actually made. This is the total sales. This is gross.
This is gross. So this is 334 domestically. Cut that in half. And then over in Europe,
how is anyone making money, bro?
Hold on. And then you cut this one. They're only getting 30 to 40% of this number. Okay? They're getting 50% of this number, and they're getting 35 to 40% of this number. Okay? So now they only have 150 here and maybe 120 here. So congratulations, you made 270 million.
No, I thought that number was adjusted for what
the
movies. So every time I look at gross numbers like this,
yes,
I got to take half.
Correct. This is why everyone always thinks that, like, oh, they made money. No, they haven't made money yet because the budget of the film is the budget of the film and then the marketing on top of that. So let's say it's $400 million film.
They got to figure out. They got to figure a way to.
They got to make $650
man.
million just to pay back the thing, because once they take the cuts out to pay the theaters and pay the other people, they have half of this number left. So $585 million, cut it in half.
I don't see how they're going to be able to pay stars anymore, bro. How do you stay in business?
I have no idea how Marvel's Doomsday is going to make any money. Any money. It has to make like $3 billion so it can make money. Okay. It's got to be the best movie ever created, and it has to break over $2 billion for them to make money. Not really. It's got to probably break about $1 billion to make money.
How do these companies stay in business? I don't understand how they stay in business.
Because they have movies that don't have budgets that's extremely high like this. You can make a $40 million movie.
Oh no, like a Big Fat Greek Wedding and these other movies where the production is lower, much lower. You only have 3 movies. Like what was that Mark Wahlberg one where he's on a plane with 2 other people? It was like a bounty hunter and
Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson made the movie. I don't know if Mark Wahlberg is in it, but
yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg.
Is he?
Yeah.
So it's 3 people on a plane on a soundstage.
It's the guy from the '70s show, like Topher Grace.
Yes, Topher Grace. Yeah,
Topher Grace, Mark Wahlberg, and that.
And I forget the girl's name. Yes, it's a movie that was shot
in a plane,
in a studio with the volume.
Yeah,
in a prop plane, and then they went and did the aerial shots later. Yeah, that'll probably make money.
Yeah,
because it doesn't cost $250 million to make the film. Yeah, that's exactly right. Right. So that's one movie story, right? Here's the other stupid movie story. Okay. The other stupid movie story that we have today is that AMC Theaters, to trim the pre-show by 4 to 5 minutes, CEO says, we don't love, diluting it for our customers. Okay. So now first of all, AMC is fucking stupid, right? And I'm saying this as a stockholder in AMC. Okay. They're fucking stupid because on the ticket, right, they added 25 to 30 minutes of ads before the movie. But they tell you on the ticket that 25 to 35 minutes is ads before you come. But now I don't have to go to the theater early because we have assigned seats, right? You purchase your tickets ahead of time and you don't have to show up 20 to 35 minutes ahead of time.
There's no reason to show up.
Right, there's no reason to because...
Go away the reason. Yeah,
right, to get good seats, you're already getting the seats ahead of time. So now I just come when the showtime starts. If it says 3:50, it doesn't start until 3:45. So I show up at 3:40, get my stuff, walk in the theater, sit in my chair, the movie starts. I don't see any ads. Thanks, AMC. But they're like, well, so they basically cut off the legs of the ad revenue that they're getting because they charge people to put ads on the screen, but then they warn the people that the ads are going to be on the screen for 25 to 30 minutes before the actual showtime. Okay. Genius idea. And then now they're going to cut. They're going to cut. What do you think they're cutting from the ads that you watch? Now, I don't know if you guys have ever been to AMC, chat. Okay, in AMC, they show these, if you go to Regal, they show you like the Twizzler, the roller coaster or whatever, like get your snacks, the snack bar and stuff like that. Like they show that. They show ads like the 20 before, whatever, Manunos, whatever her name is. Okay, like there's the advertisements, there's that local advertisements before the show even starts, and there's the trailers. So what do you think they're removing 4 to 5 minutes from?
Oh, what the hell's 4 to 5 minutes? Everything's only like a 30 seconds to a minute commercial. How about the one where they tell you we rent out our theater for special events? How about that?
Nope, that's not what they're getting rid of.
No, that would get rid of that.
I'll give you one more shot. One more shot.
The girl who wants me to buy the subscription model for movie tickets, she comes on and tells me I want to pay $20 a month for a movie subscription so I can go watch as many movies as I want, or 3 movies a month or some shit like that. They get rid of that?
No, they're not getting rid of that either. They're getting rid of the part of the movie that tells you not to text or talk on your phone.
Oh, we need that, though. What are you talking about? We need that.
Yeah, no.
You know how many assholes are looking at their phone when I'm watching a movie?
They're not getting rid of the couple that's sipping on Coke products, right? And where you get this concession stand stuff. You're already at the concession stand, by the way, because you walked past it before you got to the theater to sit down. Like no one walks in the theater and goes, oh shit, I forgot the soda and the popcorn that I just passed, right? No, they purposely walked past it because it's $15 and they don't want it, okay? And they pull out the Twizzlers in the middle of when the lights dim. They pull out the the beer bottles out of their pockets because they're wearing cargo pants. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Like they're not going to the concession stand. They're also not getting rid of the part of where Nicole Kidman is in the film. And she's like, AMC, it's where movies are made, whatever the fucking thing is. Right. Like, why do I need an advertisement about AMC when I'm sitting in an AMC theater looking at the fucking movie that's telling me this is the best place to watch AMC? Thanks, asshole. I think I know that because it's the only theater near me, and that's where I have to be. So you're advertising about your business in the place that the people already bought tickets for to watch the movie in your place. Okay, that's staying. That's staying. The texting part of the thing where silence your phones and texting, which is only about 45 seconds, by the way. So I don't know where the extra 3.5 minutes is coming from. But thanks, AMC. Thanks for looking out for us for the.
I mean, we're really budgeting the hour here per minute, huh? They're gonna trim some stuff. They're gonna save me an entire.
There she
minute.
is. AMC, where movies are made. Okay. AMC customers have been notified in theater chains, online ticketing service.
They're not made there. They're played there.
Yeah, whatever. It came to AMC's reach to deal with theatrical advertising company National Cinema Media. There's an actual organization just for these things, okay? To run their ads starting on July. Okay. He told the investors' fiscal analyst that the company decided to make a deal with NCM following the historical poor box office during the first quarter of 2025. Given that NCM and similar deals also the major chains of Cinemark and Regal, Aaron said that it's irresponsible for AMC not to follow suit. We're also foregoing tens of millions of dollars that the competitors were also taking to say. Where does it say here? The studio is also marketing executive. AMC is going to do. Aaron says that the trims won't come from the NCM ads, though contractually obligated. Instead, the company is looking to shorten the in-house reels, telling moviegoers to silence their cell phones and talk during the movie. Like
the two things that are vital that piss me off is don't
use your phone in the theater
and don't use your phone. We're gonna get rid of that.
Yeah.
Well, get ready for a lot of ass whoopings. The next 6 months, will be a lot of ass whoopings happening in the theater.
How do we get people to come into the theater? I don't know. Ask the studios to make better films. Okay. Second, don't advertise for 40 minutes before the thing on stuff that no one cares about. And also tell people, like, you want people to watch the theater, then get rid of the assigned seats. But no one's going to go to your theater then, because now you've already let that cat out of the bag, and it's been around for a decade now. So I used to hate. Anybody remember this type of thing? You go to the theater with your friends.
Fighting for the seats, bro.
Right? You go to the theater for your friends. You got to get there about 45 minutes early, right? When you're in high school. And you happen to be the guy that gets there first, which is wrong.
So you got to lay down.
Yeah, you got to lay down across the seats. You got to put a hat in 9 seats across. You got to put a sweater.
I got them all.
You got your shoe on here. One. Guy comes in. You're like, no. I'm saving these seats. Right? There's like 12 seats you're saving. And then you find out that your friends are not coming. And you're like, you look like an asshole.
Yes.
Right? For saying this stuff, right?
Yep.
Then there's the guy that comes in. Everyone's got the seats. There's that seat in the center. He comes, excuse me, like the movie started. He comes in late, and you're like, you son of a bitch, right? Now you got leg rooms, reclining seats. You pick your seat. You show up 10 seconds before. It's your seat. No one's saving anything. No one's leaning it back, right? People don't give a shit. It's upside down.
You don't smell everybody's BO because they just rolled out of bed to come to the theater. Remember those days? Is anyone in here buy deodorant? Like, what's happening right now? It's horrible.
It's so it's so stupid. AMC. I don't want to talk about stocks, but AMC stock is $10 lower than every other theater because they're being short. Okay,
short. Yep.
Right. But let's be honest. They should be $10 cheaper because they're fucking morons. Okay, they're fucking morons.
I love how they have meetings and discussions and multi-million-dollar commercials made for we're going to trim a minute off. Yeah. Make everybody happy.
We're going to get rid of the cell phone talk. Please silence your cell phones.
It's almost like I can hear Lorne Michaels talking about this. How are we going to take off the extra minute? We're going to get rid of the extra minute because we don't need it. It's intrusive to the guests.
We're going to go through a couple of fast stories here, okay? We've got North American gamers, Sarge, spend $325 annually, so it comes out to about 4.6 games a year.
So is that count piracy or no?
No, that's buying. You actually like what they spend. Now they did find out that in Europe they actually spend 1/3 less than in America. Okay, so America is $325, but
They
overseas,
spend 1/3 less because games are more expensive there.
Yeah, and they spend 1/3 less over there. It's $125 a person over there overseas. But this is also it. I don't know how the study was shown because they only interviewed like 2,000 people, but
it's not a big serve. It's not a big enough sample size.
But if one person's playing Fortnite and that's the only game they're playing, and they spent $325 in that one game, you see what I'm saying? That would skew the average of how many people.
But this is why I can't. I got to be honest with you. I hate these type of stories when their sample size is too small. Like when they start giving you percentages of people and it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy or angry inside because they're trying to side something, but the sample size is so small that it's irrelevant. I hate it. You told me you got to tell me at least like it's got to be like 100,000 people, like 50,000 is smallest. Like you can't say 2,000 people. Oh my God, look how crazy this is! Like no, 2,000 people is not a sample size.
Here's another quick story.
2,000 people is people playing Concord. That's
survey says like Family Feud. Yeah. Next story is Palworld Slop arrives on Switch despite Nintendo ongoing legal battle with Original. So this is a
troll move.
It's a clone survival crafting sim without the Pokeballs. Okay, but the funny part is that here I'll show you.
Are they trolling their own game?
So this is on Nintendo, right? It looks awful. Don't worry, you won't hear any sound. Right? This looks awful.
It looks like Tales from the Shire.
Right? This looks absolutely horrible. This is on the Switch.
Oh my God.
Right? This is on the Switch. This is okay. Right? Nintendo's okay with this because no one's going to buy this. No one's going to spend any money on it, and they don't have to worry about them taking any kind of customers away from
what the fuck? What are we talking about? What is this?
This is on the Switch. Okay.
Is this an actual game?
Yeah. This is Pal Land. Okay. Now they're not being sued.
I'm sorry. What company made this?
I have no idea what company made it.
So somebody else is trolling on Palworld, or they're trolling on Nintendo?
Well, it doesn't really matter if they're trolling on Palworld. They're also on Nintendo. Nintendo's not doing anything. They put it on Nintendo. Like Palworld's not even on Nintendo, right? Because Palworld is better than anything that they've ever made, and now they put this shitty game on there, right? So it's just funny how this is not going to get a lawsuit. Okay, so it says it's trouble about Pokemon mechanics like getting creatures in low health, aiming for a Pokeball at them and capturing them. It's also later being able to ride on their backs. There's also gameplay loops that Nintendo said that Palworld maker Pocket Pair violated the patents, even though there was no patents filed at the time of that. But now there is, right?
Yeah,
or they're trying to. So while Nintendo might not have the problem,
Nintendo's not going to win that, bro. They're not going to win.
Palland, since its creatures aren't obviously knockoffs of Pokemon, it also isn't selling tens of millions of copies. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like, it's not going to sell. I just think it's funny that this should even be allowed on Nintendo if Palworld is breaching, right? Because who knows? They could make up some other patent. You can't use an axe, chop down a tree or something, right? So it's just funny that you can have one, but the other one comes out that's much shittier, non-competitive. And they're like, you can put that on our system.
Did somebody knock that out since the lawsuit started? That just made this game since the lawsuit started? Like, just knocked it out?
I would be laugh my ass off, and Nintendo's like, can we make a game like that and just make it over a third-party company that we don't pretend we don't own? That would be hilarious.
But I can't tell. Is it Nintendo trolling Palworld, or is that game?
No, that's a third-party game. That's a third-party game coming on Nintendo Switch.
So they're trolling Nintendo,
I guess.
So Nintendo okayed that game to be sold on their system?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's shitty looking.
That's weird.
And there's no threat whatsoever.
It doesn't.
I mean, I'm saying that. I don't know if they.
It doesn't even look like a game from 2 generations ago. It looks horrible. It looks horrible.
Well, the other lawsuit that's going on is Sony and Tencent. Tencent makes changes to the light of, is it Motoram? Motoram Steam page. This is the thing that looks like Horizon. the game that looks like Horizon, that's a survival game like Valheim and everything else, like Pal World.
But it looks exactly like Horizon.
So it says Tencent has made several changes to the game's Steam page following the allegations from Sony to open world adventure. In a it says
Motrium? It's like
is it Motrium? Maybe.
Is it named after the PMS pill? Is it Motrin?
Alongside the additional Q4 of 2027 release window for of this game, the game's key art is depicted of the character similar to Horizon, but has been replaced since the new artwork has also showing two animal-like robots, a bird and a pig. Several of the game's Horizon-like screenshots have also been replaced with new images. The biggest change, however, is the description, which I previously read. Okay, so they changed the description, so it's nothing like it. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, if you guys watch this show, but I said that they wouldn't get in trouble because they're not anywhere near launching this game. So they put it out there, and I said they could just change it, and their lawsuit's over because they didn't sell anything. There's nothing to sell, so they can't sue them for anything because they haven't done anything wrong yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it looks like they're making all the changes and not marketing it, but it was scummy. They try to represent it as a Horizon game. They told them, no, we don't want you to do this. And they're like, okay, and they did it anyway, like a bunch of idiots, right? Because it's not from this country. So they're just like, oh, we're going to do whatever we want. So it says Sony thought so too, and they filed a copyright lawsuit against them. And the parent company Tencent in July, calling the game a clone. And the Horizon series also described as amongst the most valuable intellectual property.
That's a racist statement right there.
It is.
It is.
Slavish clone.
It is.
Yeah. So it says, upon viewing the gameplay trailer, the internet users and gaming journalists agreed that Light of Motrium, I guess we'll call it, right, was a knockoff of Horizon Zero Dawn, but it really wasn't. It was like a Monster Hunter meets a survival game, but visually, they 100% took the visual things, and the advertisement, they did use it to persuade or manipulate people, but at the same time, they're not selling the game yet. So they're just changing it. Nothing's going to happen with this, I don't think. I don't think they're going to get a lawsuit. I mean, they're going to file it, but they're going to drop it because they're like, oh, they made all the changes. We're good.
You think like a bingo card inside the Nintendo offices and everybody they have all these companies that they think they're going to get sued because Nintendo's in so many lawsuits that somebody throughout the year gets a bingo on the thing, which company sue Nintendo or Nintendo sues the company. Nintendo sues everybody.
Yeah, well,
like legit.
This is Sony, so
like your job security as a Nintendo lawyer is got to be phenomenal. Your retainer is amazing, and you're always busy because somebody always pisses off Nintendo for doing nothing. Like, we got another one. Like, this dude's wearing a hat looks like a mushroom. That's a bandana. Sue him. I don't care. It's a bandana. It's a hat. Doesn't matter. Summon. Done. Let's go.
The next story, Sarge, is MarvelRivals dev have a year's worth of characters planned already. And it says in the article it takes about 10 to 12 months to bring them from concept to version of the actual game.
How long it take?
I think it says 10 to 12 months. Hold on, let me see.
A year.
It says, planned a preparation 12 months in advance for the new heroes underway at Marvel. Yeah. So it takes about 12 months, right? So I've said this in other games in the past, right? I also said that they're going to have at least 2 years worth of characters. And I said in the past, this is what Marvel Avengers should have done. So like 5 years ago, I said, it's so stupid when you release a game. I said, they should already have the characters planned out in the pipeline to give yourself that room. So when you release a game, right, if there's any kind of problems, you fix the game, but you also already have the stuff in the pipeline to come out instead of making it and going, is it going to be successful? You take the budget. Instead of making, you make the 6 main characters, but then you make 6 other characters, so you give yourself another year's worth of in the pipeline. It seems like that's what they've done here, right? MarvelRivals came out earlier this year, or late last year, earlier this year. They already have I think it was 32 characters, okay, 32 characters when they first came out, and they already had 10 to 12 characters in the pipeline for this first year, and they've already started working on the characters for year 2 that they already have as well. And I think this is a smart business plan the way they do it, because if they already have the 12 characters already set for next year, then they can already start making next characters because obviously they know how much money they're making. Is it worth it? Should we continue going on to the next one? And if they start noticing a sway of things happen, let's say it's a little slow, and they're not enough people are coming back to play the game, they could all of a sudden go, hey, instead of one character a year or a month for the year, all of a sudden, boom, event goes on. They put in 2 or 3 characters because they already have enough in the pipeline that they can bring in down the road. Now, I'm not saying that's what they have, but I'm saying that's what they could do based on this, the leeway they have with this, right? Because we've already seen, I think it was 26 leaked characters. Doesn't mean that 26 characters are all coming to the game, but so far, 6 of the characters have come to the game from those leaked documents. Then we have the additional 18 characters that are still haven't shown up yet, and which get us through all of next year and then half a year past that. So we have another year and a half worth of content already potentially planned from the leaked data mine stuff of the characters. So what do you think of this, Sarge? Do you think this is a good way? Do you think this is kind of pointless because they don't know if the game's going to make it to 2 years or 3 years? Like, which way do you look at this?
Well, I don't know if you want to say if it's good or bad or anything. I think the business model for Marvel is good in this game, which is it's just a fun game to play with some friends. You get to be a hero that you grew up with or that you happen to read about. The only thing I can see is if they get lazy and the move sets become OP for like certain characters, right? But otherwise, if you keep
too similar right, to the already moves.
Well, and even then you could remove him. It's not like you're going to be short characters or something, right? Like if you make a mistake on a character, you just take him out for a couple months and bring him back in, right?
Well, Crunchy here says hopefully the heroes that they add aren't ass like the ones they've already have been. Now I think that's per person, because a person might just play the game because they bring in Rogue, and that person that didn't play the game, they might come in just to play that one character. If they think it sucks or not, they come back or first time in because their character's there. You guys use the word cozy game. I wouldn't use this as a cozy game, but I will say that this is one of those games where you can kind of flow in and out of. Like you don't play very
it
casual.
You don't play it for a while, and then all of a sudden they release a couple of characters that you're actually interested in, and you get back into the game for about a month or two, and then you fall back out of it again. But there's so many characters to play that it gives a wide swath of people who actually like superheroes just to jump on and play, and you maybe buy a skin here and there. That's what the whole game is about anyway. The whole game is about you coming in and buying a couple skins for a couple guys, and then you don't play for a while. It's like you're just handing them money, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Their business model is season pass. If you like the season pass, you buy the season pass, and if you're super casual, you don't have to beat it that season if you bought it. It's yours, right? And then on top of that, is if there is a character, they have like little events like, they have like a shortened season pass or new cosmetics that come in or a spin-off of one of the shows and they put that cosmetic skin in there. So not only are they trying to get the new people to come in that might not have played or bought something yet, but they're also looking at let's say I bought the season pass. I'm also a Wolverine fan. They also put an extra skin in for Wolverine. There's also an event thing that's happening with an emote. You know what I mean? So they're like doubling down and tripling down on the people that are already spent the money on the cosmetics as well.
You would have to think if I was them, right? As you're releasing these characters, somebody in the background should be making up a battle pass based on some kind of story, some story points on different characters. So like after all the Fantastic Four is out, then maybe like 3 or 4 months down the road, you've got a whole thing between Fantastic Four and some enemy guys, and give them skins, give them a new map to play on, and give some kind of like temporary like gameplay method that's happening, and then it goes away after. You know what I mean? Like a reason to come back in.
I've said something similar where I said they have those comics in the actual game that they're part of the season pass and whatnot, but you turn the page, it's got like 3-4 pages, and it's got like a cell on one page, 3 on the other. I said if you purchased a comic, so it's a comic, and every cell that you do is a mission-based or a story-based element type of thing. And then if you bought the comic for, let's say, $5, $10, whatever it is, you get that character's story. So if Thor's already in the game, they give you another comic, volume 2 of Thor's comic. It tells another story of Thor, and it gives you comic skins for that character, emotes. Maybe if Loki's in there, then it would give him stuff as well. Something, because that's what comic book collectors want to do, right? yes, it's digital, but I think that would intrigue them to purchase that comic because it's extra content, extra skins. You feel like you're getting your time's worth. Not so much of a story like you're playing a campaign like a God of War or something like that. You're just playing the regular game as you would in Marvel's Rivals. And because you did 100,000 damage with Thor, it unlocks that cell, which then tells a story of that comic. You see what I'm saying? They're doing that now, but I'm saying make it individual for each of the characters and have their own story, comic book stories with inside the game itself.
It seems to be if they don't have a ton of people working on it and they can sell skins, it's a fun game to play with just some Marvel characters with. I think just in the basic method that they're doing now, it already beats the other games that are like it. They're doing a better job.
Yeah.
They're just doing a better job.
All right, we're going to move on. I'm not going to do the Division 2 project. It's been revealed that it's at Gamescom next week, so we'll talk about Gamescom when it happens. I want to talk about Battlefield, okay? There's a couple stories about Battlefield. So we have former Blizzard president predicts that Battlefield 6 is going to boot stomp Black Ops 7 because Call of Duty has become lazy. Okay, what do you think about this, Sarge? Just off the title. Do you think Battlefield 6 is going to boot stomp Call of Duty for the very first time in its life?
I think all the drama between Battlefield and COD has been so manufactured for them to be like this headbutting thing between the two factions. I think that Call of Duty people like Call of Duty, and I think Battlefield people, which is a smaller number of people, like Battlefield. The only reason why they're saying this is because of the online numbers that they got after they spent a shit ton of money to pay a bunch of Call of Duty players to play their Battlefield game. Like, I don't understand how that your perception of one game beating another is not even both games are out and now we're going to score them. It's that the Battlefield game has been lost for so long, and because you made it look like Call of Duty and a bunch of people want to play it because you look like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And then you brag about looking like Call of Duty and you think you're going to beat Call of Duty. Like it makes no sense to me. Like, what is your goal? If you look like the game you're trying to beat, then you're not going to beat them. You're just giving those guys something to play while they wait for their game to come out. Right? If you actually believe that, is the perception that the Call of Duty population is going to buy Battlefield and not buy COD? Is that the rationale they're coming up with?
I think Call of Duty guys, if they're going to buy, they're going to buy Call of Duty and Battlefield. They just are. People just buy Call of Duty every year because it's the Madden of first-person shooters, right?
But that's what I mean. So you already have your, like, is the Krebsy? That's a good number though. Like, that's a
great number.
Is the high number? I remember one.
Maybe not great for Call of Duty, but still 20 million copies.
No, what I'm saying is Call of Duty. I remember way back when Call of Duty came out with a game, it was like the highest selling one. I think it was like near 30 million, right? It was like a really popular one. It was like 30 million copies. Like, to me, that's a good number. So if you only sell 20 million copies of COD on an off year, then that's still a win. You're not going to sell anywhere near that many copies of Battlefield.
Let me see if I can find.
I mean, I just don't see COD players buying Battlefield and then a month later buying the game that they like anyway.
Right.
I mean, maybe. Okay.
So I just found this little chart here for a second, right? It's over here on the corner. Okay, best-selling Call of Duty titles, all-time unit sale titles of Call of Duty franchise of October of 2019, okay? 2019. This chart that I'm looking at here, 2008, okay, sold 15.94. 2007 sold 18 million. 2017 sold 19.82. Advanced Warfare 2014, 21,000. 2009, which is Modern Warfare 2, that's the last one I played, was 25 million. Okay, Black Ops 3 in 2015 sold 26.72 million. Ghost 2013 sold 28 million. Black Ops 2 2012 sold 29 million. Modern Warfare 3 in 2011 sold 30 million, and Black Ops 2010 sold 30 million. Okay,
but that's a while ago.
Yeah, that's from 2010 or 2008 to 2017. Okay,
yeah, but the numbers have been coming down since then.
Sure, but even the lowest at 2008 at 15.94 is still fantastic for a fucking game. Do we understand that? Like 15 million copies sold of one fucking game is astonishing.
Yeah.
Okay. Hogwarts Legacy sold 35 million copies. Is the first game to beat Call of Duty in 15 years.
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, but my point is that the manufactured argument between the two games, Battlefield is not in the same arena.
Battlefield's best sales is below or just above the 2008. 17 million. That's it.
Yeah, I think that was Battlefield.
That
3?
was 4.
Three.
Three. It was 14 million for 4, 17 million for 3.
I mean, it's a decent game. My issues with it is I'm peeling away the layers of the onion. I can see the game. I'm peeling away the layers of the onion. What they wanted you to see, everybody enjoyed. They got the hype train up. I applaud them for doing all the things that marketing is supposed to do. My issue is that I can't look at EA after the countless lies that they have spun over the years about everything, right? And I just can't, it's like your girlfriend cheats on you and she comes back and says she wants to still hang out with you every time and you keep saying yes. Like after a while,
yeah,
that's how they are.
It was me, not you.
Right. Yeah. That's how they are. They're cheaters. She's a cheater. She's going to always cheat. You have to walk away. Like EA does the same thing. They keep screwing you over, and then they show you all the flash, and you're supposed to be all warm and fuzzy inside. Like I don't work that way. So I'm waiting to see the other shoe drop, because everything I'm listening to, and I'm playing the beta, and yes, it's fun. I'm not saying it's not fun, but the layers of the onion are there. The large maps are not there. I don't want promises. I want the maps, right? The net code is wonky, right? You can't tell me this close to launch. You tell me this is just the beta. It's going to change. I can't understand how you guys keep thinking that when you're this close to a launch, you think that things are going to change that much, right? It is what it is. Every other launch has been broken. You think this one's not going to be. Just like you think your girlfriend's not going to cheat on you. Like, it's the same shit.
It's
like,
just the
you
one
know,
time.
you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
So,
you know.
I just looked it up. Battlefield 3, okay? Battlefield 3, which is the biggest selling ever, was in 2013, and that was up against Call of Duty Ghost. Okay, the year that sold 17 million for Battlefield, Ghost sold 28.98 million. Okay? 11 million less than Call of Duty for the best Battlefield ever. I'm a huge Battlefield fan, okay? I said it will sell 10 to 12 million copies. I think this Battlefield 6 will, okay? If it goes on to sell 17 or even 25 million, Call of Duty, and Krebsy said it in chat, is selling on all consoles. Old gen, new gen, 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 5, and PC. Okay? There is no way in hell you guys are smoking something if you think that Battlefield 6, which is only selling on the new generation systems and PC, is going to sell more than Call of Duty. It's not going to happen. Call of Duty is Madden football. Madden football every year sells 10 to 12 to 15 million. Why? Because people love it. They love playing it. They love playing Ultimate Team. They love the kill streaks. They love Call of Duty. They play it every single year. It doesn't matter that Snoop Dogg and Nicki Minaj is there and Beavis and Butthead are there, okay? Because every year. Now, are Call of Duty sales going to be lower? Sure. Sure, they'll be lower. But I'll be very surprised if the Battlefield 6 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S, X, and PC is going to outdo Call of Duty everywhere else. I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, I once again, the way that the journalists are talking about it is making out to be like the Battlefield's gonna like rompy stomp COD. Like, first of all, it doesn't have the console sales to do it. It doesn't have the numbers to do it. And so I'm still curious to know whether or not the COD population will buy a game a month away from their own game in order to give this game a sales bump, because they can't wait a month. Right? Now, if the game is actually Battlefield, which I do not think it is, because Battlefield is Battlefield. Battlefield is not COD. Yes, I understand that Battlefield had smaller maps. I've played all the Battlefields. I know they had smaller maps. The premise is that you have all these game modes with not impressive netcode and not stable. The visual effects were shown to you on an entire building that was manufactured by EA to show the game in the best possible light, right? 200 computers, probably the top end machines of all time. You weren't going to see any lag, right? You started seeing lag and things when people started playing the beta because it was in the actual hands of people who were actually using normal hardware. So we're going to see, right? Everyone loves the Flash. Everyone loves to see
it's a hype. It's new car smell. Everyone's on board, man.
I get it, man. We got a month. It comes out what, next month? No, 2 months. 2 months. Right, October comes out. Yeah. So you think that all these magical changes are going to happen in 2 months that are going to make this game the best Battlefield game they have ever released? That's what's inside your head.
Yeah, it has to be the best.
You're out of your mind, right?
Which it could be.
The only thing that they're hoping for, right? The only thing that they're hoping for is they get people to come across for crossplay. And they get to come in and play the battle royale because that's what they want.
Well, right. Well, that's what they want. That's where the user stuff is, right?
Right.
Real quick,
that's where the money is.
Will R says it's on Game Pass. Now, I'm asking you a question, Will. Are you saying because Call of Duty is on Game Pass, you're saying that's going to take sales away? I just want to make a statement here.
Is it going to?
There's been stats out there. There's been stats out there that say 50% of PlayStation owners only play Call of Duty. Now, there's 75 million consoles out there for PlayStation, okay? If 50% of all PlayStation owners play Call of Duty, that alone beats Battlefield's by itself. It doesn't matter if Xbox gets it on Game Pass, right? That's more people that will pay money for it down the road with microtransactions or whatnot, right? But just PlayStation alone will sell more copies than Battlefield based off of the stat of 50% of PlayStation owners buy Call of Duty.
Listen, all this hype train. I'll be honest with you, right? I think maybe the beta was too early. It should have been last month or next month because they're not going to make a lot of changes anyway, right? They're going to do what they're going to do, right? The goal here is to get engagement of 100 million people. I didn't say purchase. I said engagement. Right. They're looking for 100 million people engagement. Okay, that's what they want. Because a percentage of that engagement gives them the number they need to play BR to let them sell whatever it is they want to sell inside BR, right? A normal Battlefield game is 6 to 7 million people. A good one was 10. Like I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think's about to happen.
If Battlefield makes if they sell 10 million copies, it's a huge success. Huge success.
Huge.
It's huge. Yeah. It's 10 million, 12 million. I say it's going to make 10 to 12 million. If it goes over that, fantastic. Look, I want Battlefield 6 to succeed. Okay. But I don't think people understand how big Call of Duty is. Now, I'm not saying Call of Duty is too big to fail. I'm just saying that there's 67 million people that haven't moved from a PlayStation 4 to 5 yet. And Call of Duty's selling to those people.
That's correct.
Okay. There's people that haven't moved from an Xbox.
They have to. Because they have to.
Right. Xbox One to Xbox S or X because they just don't want to. Especially since consoles are $700 now.
So has anyone seen like what the Call of Duty game is right now? Like what the new one is? Has anyone seen?
No, we haven't seen Black Ops 7 yet. Yeah.
Like nobody's seen it
or whatever. No, they haven't shown anything yet.
So have they shown anything?
No, but there is a rumor that people in Call of Duty have been asking for certain things.
So we're 3 months out. Nobody's seen anything yet.
Yeah, they'll show it probably this week or whatever. This week or next week, whatever. Or next week. This week's over. Right? Call of Duty has been asking, the player base has been asking for certain things inside the game. And there's rumors now, data miners are saying that, oh, we asked for this and now it's coming to the game. Well, guess what? Why are they bringing that stuff in the game all of a sudden? It's because Battlefield 6 is coming out. And they're like, oh, you guys have been asking for this in Call of Duty all this time. Well, guess what? We're putting it in. We're putting it in the game now. And you're like, well, I'm not going to leave now. I wanted that feature inside that game, right? These guys are addicted to Call of Duty. These people might spend the money, but they're not going to play that game in the long term. They're going to be playing Call of Duty because Call of Duty comes out every year annually. and they just keep playing it until the next Call of Duty comes out. That's what they do. Right? Call of Duty's in that game pool of people playing 7-year-old games or older, or they're playing Fortnite, Minecraft, Roadblocks, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, right? Like 60% of the population is playing these 7 games. Is Battlefield 6 going to be one of those games? That's a big number. I don't know.
The list of infractions for why it's I don't think it's going to go well. The paper mache vehicles, not enough vehicles, maps not big enough, netcode issues, guns don't feel impactful. I guess I might be using the wrong guns, but everything feels like I'm firing an airsoft rifle. I mean, certain guns have an impact, right? But it to me, there's no ability for tactics. It's just run and gun. It's not really there's no tactics involved. You're not scared. Nobody is scared when you see a tank. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit that you rolled up on them in a tank, right? A tank shell should kill somebody. This bullshit with the splash damage doesn't affect you, right? A vehicle should cause disruption. A vehicle driving up on a point full of guys, the guys should scatter like roaches.
You rethink your life at that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
The guys on the point will scatter like roaches when the lights come on. That's exactly how it's supposed to be when you roll up on them in a tank. If the tank shells don't do anything, then it's fucking pointless to have the tank. It's paper mache. I get 2 rockets in me and I'm fucking done anyway. Like it's madness.
Yeah. If you get 2 guys with rockets shooting the tank out at the same time, it's done. Right? Because it takes 4 hits, all depending on where you hit it. And it blows up. That's if no one's repairing it. If no one's doing anything, it can blow up super fast, right?
Yeah. I don't mind. I watched a lot of videos. I played a lot last weekend. I watched a lot of videos. I've watched a lot of videos for everybody who played, right? I'm not mad about people finding ways to get on top of the roof.
No,
they call it glitching. I don't care. That's
always been
remember, raise your hand. Remember when we
out
used
of a helicopter, go on top of a tower, go on top of a water tower, go up on top of a crane.
Remember when we used the MAV as an elevator to get to the top of a building we weren't supposed to get on top of? Same shit, right? That does not bother me. What bothers me is cross-play enabled, cheats on PC, right? And by the way, I'm watching some of these videos, everybody cheats. And if you were cheated against and you got mad enough, you just got the cheats yourself because you got tired of getting cheated on. That's like the flow of how this game works anyway. I don't know if it's got staying power. I don't think promises of maps later on down the road, right? And I don't like the fact that once again, EA is telling you out loud that the portal is there for you guys to make up your own content, so we don't have to.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to go ahead and make up all the maps you want to make because I don't have to do it. You guys can do it. Like, why am I paying a premium price for a AAA game if I'm in charge of making the content for the game? Right? You're supposed to advertise a Battlefield game for Battlefield players. If you just want to make a first-person shooter military and make it fun, call it anything else. But you didn't want to call it anything else because you can't sell an unknown game. So you use the IP that everyone knows and say we're hip and moddy now. Like, you can actually physically look at it and see what they've done. Call of Duty, you guys have said it already. Call of Duty has changed into Fortnite, and now they're trying to change Battlefield into COD,
which is Fortnite. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
All the hype in the world is not going to fix netcode. All the hype in the world
problems right now
is not going to fix stabilization issues for peer-to-peer. It's just not.
Yeah,
right?
6 weeks they got
not having server browser isn't going to fix the game.
Here's the funny part. Ready? XDefiant had netcode issues October, 6 months before the game came out. 6 months before the game came out, it launched with netcode issues. Where's XDefiant now? It's closed down. It's done. Now, I'm not saying Battlefield is going to close down because EA is a much bigger company than what XDefiant was doing because they were a new company, right?
First impression.
But netcode is bad right now, and they're 6 weeks away from launching this game. Well, let me tell you something. Netcode is still going to be bad 6 weeks from now. If netcode was bad 6 months later in other games, it's going to be bad 6 weeks from now.
The only saving grace here, and it's a small one, is it's only coming out for new systems. So they don't have to worry about trying to get shit to work.
Right. Well, it actually would help them because it's 2 less systems to worry about.
Right. They only concentrate on present day gen.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to shit on the game for the sake of shitting on it. I have watched every release of
prove it to
EA.
us.
I have watched every release of EA. They have done nothing different. They release it the same condition every time. Paying all this extra money. Think about it all the way through. Think about it. All the money that they spent to get Call of Duty players to play their game. They had to pay them to play their game. Think about what you're saying, right? You didn't think the Battlefield people were going to play it, so you paid Call of Duty players.
Yeah.
So what happens?
Tarkov players, Call of Duty players.
What happens when Call of Duty starts advertising for their own game? I can't wait to do the comparison videos for all the talk right now between COD and Battlefield, and when that shit starts to come out. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
So let's go to this next story real fast, because this irritates me from when they talk about. So the game designer of Battlefield says scale is not everything. Okay, look, I've talked about this solo. I'll let Sarge talk more, but I talked about this earlier and said scale about Battlefield is everything. Right? Scale is not everything. No, it's everything. It's 100% everything. Battlefield, from the very start of Battlefield games. Now, I'm okay with, it doesn't have to be super large scale maps, but large maps are the selling point of Battlefield. That is the identity of Battlefield. If you ask somebody what's that? They're up on top of the shelf. So, sorry, my wife came in and asked. Don't worry about it. So what the hell was I saying now? Oh, Battlefield. Okay. The maps are everything. When you say, hey, what's Battlefield? Oh, large scale warfare, right? Tanks, copters, jets, jeeps. Like, there's a ton of stuff that you're looking at, okay, inside this game. You're not just like, oh, it's got kill streaks, it's got, noob tubes, that's Call of Duty. Battlefield's a completely different thing. So for the game designer, the designer of the game, okay, design director comes out and says that, well, the scale is not everything. That's fundamentally wrong from every single Battlefield that's ever been released up to this point.
They've had small maps. Metro's a small
map.
The Fortress was a small map. Like, I'm talking about the Battlefield 3 and 4. There were small maps. There was that prison level was at Battlefield 4. You're on a snow-capped mountain. You just have a prison. Like, yes, there are small maps, but the purposes of the game Battlefield is supposed to be a battlefield. Like a large area where two teams grab a bunch of resources and just start going at each other, right? It doesn't always have to be conflict or conquest. It could be the rush mode or the breakthrough mode or whatever the word is now for that game mode. But the point is that's what it's supposed to be. Team play that's meaningful team play. You're supposed to have each individual roles because not everybody can do everything. That's right. The reason why you have a squad. If you all want to be assault because there's no tanks around, cool, all be assault. But when a tank comes up, everyone should shit the bed, right? You need at least one guy to put the beacon down. So at least one guy's got to stay as assault. But the rest can change into rocket guys. Or maybe you need to want to have a medic. So you want two rocket guys and then a medic and a guy with puts the beacon down. Like you're moving on the fly. It's not supposed to be the Swiss Army knife of guys. You just pick any gun on you want and just run amok, right? The way that the game was made before is there was a classification of weapon that went along with the class, and you unlock the guns the more you use the guns. If I use the submachine gun and I got 100 kills, I would unlock either an actual piece for that gun until I got all the pieces. And then after I got all the pieces for the gun, the next time I got kills with that weapon class, then I unlocked the next gun and then repeat process. Well, I really like this. This is how it was. I really like the SMG. It has all these options now. The good scope, the good balancer. It's awesome. But now a new gun comes out, and I want to try the new gun. But when I get the new gun, it's not as good as the maxed out submachine gun. It's a different submachine gun because I didn't put all the options on it yet. So now I have to level up that gun. That was the point of the system that was there. You unlock the next gun and then all the pieces to that gun. And then you have to make the choice. Level up the new gun because I'm inside of a noob match, or I'm in a sweat match and I want my best gun on with the best options on. That's how you used to play.
Yeah.
That's how the game was. This whole idea of using any gun for any reason defeats the purpose of the classes.
Well, the closed gun system, it seems like they're still trying to push
want
towards
everything.
this open class thing. And I think the open class, I've said this on my video that I created. I said I think they want the open class because of the microtransactions.
Yes.
So they're putting the closed class to kind of show us, right? Because they're going to show us the data because they can make up any data they want. It'd be like,
that's correct.
oh, the closed class wasn't as popular as the open class, so we're going to move forward.
I'm going to believe a data set. I'm going to believe a data set from EA.
We're going to move forward with the open class, which is fine. Which I think you lose the identity of what, because if you go watch anybody that's been playing Battlefield over the years, Level Cap, Jack Frags, all these people that play, they're like closed class is better. Closed class is better because that's what Battlefield is. Okay, but I don't know if they're going to go forward with both. I can't imagine they would do both. Maybe they would. Maybe they do closed in Portal and open in the regular game. But this is just like putting non-class classes inside there with the heroes thing. That's not Battlefield. It's not the identity of Battlefield. There's so many things that people will fight me on, and which is fine because we'll see what the data is, right? Battle Royale comes out, okay? I don't believe Battle Royale should be in Battlefield because it's not what Battlefield is. It's the complete opposite of what Battlefield is. Battlefield is large-scale battles, group, team battle going against. Fortnite is complete opposite, okay? It's squads going up against other squads or solos going. That's not Battlefield. Anyway, going from that to then Portal I can see where you're making the maps, you're making the stuff. That is I'm okay with Portal because you can create Battlefield stuff within that. You can't, Battle Royale by itself does not represent what Battlefield is. Now, once Battle Royale comes out, let's say it takes off, Sarge. They get that 100 million mark that they want people to play.
Why would they care about anything else? You
exactly
have Portal,
right.
You have Portal to play with. Why would we have to worry about anything?
You're making games on Portal. Battle Royale's pulling 100 million views in, or 100 million people, unique people playing. Why would I update the game? Someone said to me, well, it's a company. They should support their game because they're making money off it. No, minimal viable product. If they can make $1 billion doing nothing, you're making the maps over here. They make one map over here, and hundreds of millions of people are buying microtransactions of that. What happens to Rush? What happens to Domination? What happens to Conquest? What happens to Operations? It just stays the way it is. To be like, there it is, right? Just like all the other stuff. EA already has a Battle Royale, Apex Legends, okay? Been out for years. Now you have another Battle Royale going up against another Battle Royale of their own, right? They're pinning up two Battle Royales against the market over there to a game, and they said it themselves. They said Battlefield is a platform now. Battlefield is a platform.
They didn't call it a game. They called it a platform.
They called it a platform. So, right, Altern, right? Fortnite keeps updating Save the World, right? Right? Yeah, right. So I'm not saying they can't do both. I'm telling you they won't do both because one's going to make more money than the other. And when that other pipeline makes money, if Battle Royale fails, they'll get off their back because they have Battlefield and they have Portal. But if Battle Royale takes off, it's a small risk for a big reward, okay? And if it makes a shit ton of money, they're like, oh, we don't got to make any more maps. We got Portal.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that I'm supposed to be impressed that 4 studios worked on this game, and all it really did was go back to the game that we used to have 10 years ago. I would think there'd be some kind of progression. I'm looking at everyone feels good about the gunplay because it's what you remember the gunplay to be, but nothing really changed as far as what's going on inside the game. What's the update? What's the new thing? There's no Levolution, right?
Nope.
There's no
weather.
There's no weather, right? So
no weather. At least that we know of.
So what's the thing that's exciting that makes you want to play it other than the fact that you just made a game that you made 10 years ago, but it took you 4 studios to make it this time instead of only 1 studio making it before? How impressed am I supposed to be that you want AAA price for a game that's basically 10 years old, remade with different maps? What's the update?
Right.
What's the part of the game that's supposed to make me so excited that it's better than the game I played before? You're giving me the game I played before on a different map. So what am I supposed to be excited about? Like, I want to be excited. But when you tell me 4 studios, I should get at least a half a semi thinking about the options. Like for me, right? For me, the Brooklyn map on rush mode or whatever mode it's called now.
Yeah,
right?
a couple. It's on there for a couple
rush.
different
The
ones.
rush mode should be the last station that you defend should be the goddamn bridge, and either your job is to blow up the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, I don't know if it is or not.
Save the Brooklyn Bridge.
It could be.
That to me would be the crescendo for the reason why I'm playing the fucking game. But if all it is you guys just running around inside Brooklyn, and you win or you don't win by blowing up the last MCOM station or the last hard point or whatever you want to call it now, like, where's the wow factor?
Well, they've done a couple changes, right? Rush mode used to be, it was 24 versus 24 back on the 360 era, 360 and PlayStation 3. When they went to Xbox One and went to PlayStation 4, they changed it to 32 versus 32. Now we're on the brand new consoles, right? And now we're back down to 24 players per map for the rush mode so far. Maybe it changes per map, but right now during the beta it's 24, right? Another thing they're changing is that when you play a rush map, it used to be you go, I go, meaning you attack and then I attack, and then it flips the map. Now in the beta, it's not you attack, I attack, it's I defend or I attack, and then at the end of that, I get put back into a matchmaking system again, so I could either attack again or defend again, or it doesn't swap you. It's like a random thing that's happening here instead of doing that. So I hope they fix that inside the actual game.
Just a slice, bro. It's just a slice. You
Sure,
can't get mad.
just a slice.
It's just a slice. It's just a slice, bro. You can't get mad.
And then here's another thing I have an issue with. See what this right here is? Phantom Edition includes Phantom Squad's 4 soldier skins. Okay. Now you played the game, Sarge. You saw the cosmetics for both teams. One's tan skinned, one's got the black and green skin type of stuff. Okay. Well, okay. Now I get this. So now I'm on a team and everyone looks the same except the guys who pre-ordered. They happen to run this skin. Okay. And now I'm on the team, and then all of a sudden I'm facing the other team, and now the black soldiers just sticking out because now they look completely different than everybody else. I know people look at this and say, well, it's not really a big deal, but it is when you're
target acquisition is a big deal.
When you target acquisition is looking at the stuff and they look completely different. Either they're going to look much easier to shoot, which is just funny, okay, because you can see them, okay. On a desert map or in the middle of a city, you see these soldiers running around where the rest of the team looks nothing like them.
Yeah, but see that they're so hung up on having to sell skins. They go against the whole point of an army regiment for what you're supposed to wear. You're supposed to have 2 distinct teams so you can identify. You should be able to identify the type of player and the team that they're on
by the way they look.
Just by the way they look, and not by staring at them for 10 minutes. Like as they run by, you should know exactly who the fuck you're up against. Is it a recon? Is it support? All right, you should know, right? The whole point when you have all skins, everyone's running around in different colored skins. So now the armies don't look uniform. I'm trying to identify who's who. Thank God I have 10,000 choices inside my option screen that I can make the little blue bars bigger or smaller, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to identify, right? So the more you put clown show inside my military shooter, the more I don't want to play the military shooter, right? I don't want a clown show. I want military guys to look like military, and I want to be able to identify them. I don't want multicolored guys. Now, the skin changes when the map changes. If I'm on a snowboard, I'm more snow. I'm wearing heavier gear. I look different. Right. I'm in the snow, right? But my uniform still matches, right? It's not because my mask is black because I'm in the snow. Like, what are we doing, guys? Right? You're going to see the rest of the onion, guys. Everyone's allowed to be excited. Everyone, pull up a chair, be excited. Rub one out for the team. Wait for the rest of the onion to come out. Wait for the next beta to come out. Wait for the game to come out. Let's wait for COD to come out, and let's see what happens. Because
you don't have to wait that long.
All the hype in the world isn't going to rebuild the way Battlefield is supposed to perform. And if you think I'm excited about 4 studios making a game that was 10 years ago, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to see what the wow factor is. And you really haven't told me anything. All you've told me is we made a Battlefield game. Congratulations. You made a Battlefield game. That's really COD with tanks. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'll wait. I'll wait to see what happens.
All right, this next thing we're gonna switch because we're over time, but I want to show this, right? I want to show this because this right here, we talk about this all the time, right? I even brought it up. I said if I can make a video game with a text line, this is where it changes the landscape of gaming. Okay,
Sure.
Now this is the next version of what's happening here, and this is just maybe 6 months after we talked about this. Okay, maybe a little less. Okay, so this is called Genie 3, creating dynamic worlds that you can navigate in real time. Okay, so let's watch this. Let me know if you guys can hear it when I press play.
What you're seeing are not games or videos. They're worlds. Each one of these is an interactive environment generated by Genie 3, a new frontier for world models. With Genie 3, you can use natural language to generate a variety of worlds and explore them interactively.
So those of you that are following along here, he just typed in taking part in a show horse event, real world, and then boom, interactive. It made the world with you riding the horse, and you can control it with the keys. Like you're in an open world now, controlling a horse.
All with a single text prompt. Let's see what it's like to spend some time in a world. Genie 3 has real-time interactivity, meaning that the environment reacts to your movements and actions. You're not walking through a pre-built simulation. Everything you see here is being generated live as you explore it. And Genie 3 has world memory. That's why environments like this one stay consistent. World memory even carries over in.
This is made in the game. This is not a video of someone's, it doesn't have a GoPro on their head.
To your actions. For example, when I'm painting on this wall, my actions persist. I can look away and generate other parts of the world. But when I look back, the actions I took are still there. And Genie 3 enables promptable events, so you can add new events into your world on the fly. Something like another person, or transportation, or even something totally unexpected. You can use Genie to explore real-world physics and movement, and all kinds of unique environments. You can generate worlds with distinct geographies, historical settings,
Look, it's Assassin's Creed Shadows.
fictional environments, and even other characters. We're excited to see how Genie 3 can be used for next-generation gaming and entertainment. And that's just the beginning. Worlds can help with embodied research, training robotic agents before working in the real world, or simulating dangerous scenarios for disaster preparedness and emergency training. World models can open new pathways for learning, agriculture, manufacturing, and more. We're excited to see how Genie 3's world simulation can benefit research around the world.
That's insane,
Okay.
bro. That's insane.
Okay. This is now the worst it will ever be. Okay. So just imagine someone using this. Now, do you think Microsoft or EA or Activision or Ubisoft is not taking this technology and trying to make the next Assassin's Creed game and make it? Do you see what I'm saying? The minimal viable product of the least amount that we can do to make something that's next level. Now, obviously, you look at that and go, it looks kind of fake and stuff. But, bro, we're not talking about 8 megapixels here. We're talking about full 3D rendering, realistic photorealism as you're walking through a world like Skyrim, if you really wanted to, right? There's a lot more smarter people out there that could take that and then code in actual gameplay for the mechanics of the people inside that world. You think 30 billion guns is impressive? You could walk around the entire planet, all made, procedurally generated, never see the same dungeon twice, right? Within a game. And this is 6 months after, right? Now let's talk about 4 years later. What's going to happen? Why are people losing their jobs? Well, this is why people are losing their jobs, right? It's insane. It's insane.
I want to see something actually built, though. Show me something that's actually built. Someone to spend the time to build it. We'll see.
Krebsy, I understand that the concept is a concept trailer. You understand that that is 100% reality, right? They make it because they know they can make it based on what it is. We've already seen other sources make a 3D render of a real world. Yes, it looks shitty, okay? Like, go back, 2 months ago? We tried another program that was doing the exact same thing, where it was making procedurally generated worlds as the guy was just running through it, and it was just making the world for him, okay? Now you take this. I understand it's a study and whatnot, but you're like saying, well, it's only a concept. It's never going to happen. What are we talking about? Right? So there's that, and then there's this, okay? Here's a guy who decided to shock himself, okay? Shock himself to become a better first-person shooter. It's not cheating because he's using his own muscles, okay? But he talks about how the average, like, real gamer in their 30s is like 200 milliseconds, right? Where the pro gamer is like under 150, okay? So he's going to try to teach himself with the machine that he's made here, okay, to automatically detect guys on the screen and move his arm based on shock therapy to move it over to actually shoot the guy, okay, based on it detects the thing on the screen and then it shocks him which way and it jerks his hand. You know, like when someone hits your knee and your leg kicks up in the air, right? The reflexes that it happens when you do therapy. So let's just watch the first bit of this, then we'll show you near the end. Hold on one second. Let me get this propped up here. This is this one here. Okay.
I gotta be honest with you guys. I turned 30 the other day and I've been feeling a bit washed.
I'm not doing that. That's this thing.
Statistically speaking, my reaction time's about to take a massive dump. So it got me thinking. Our muscles contract based on electrical signals they receive from our brain. So what if I could just hijack that signal and instead of listening to my slow human brain, have it listen to something else?
Can I make my muscles have the fastest reaction time in the world?
Whoa! Okay.
Sponsored by Micro Center. New location coming soon to Phoenix, Arizona.
100% Altern is just cheating with just way more steps.
There are three major components to this setup. One, a PC running a program that can find where enemies are on the screen. It's not cheats. I mean, I don't want to cheat. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to cheat. Two, I need a way to send shocks to my muscles at specific wavelengths or whatever to make the muscles contract and move my arm in different directions.
Nope.
And three, I need a little single board computer to interpret the knot hacks into shockies in a very specific way to turn my arm quickly in the right direction. So theoretically, if I do everything properly, I'm the fastest in the world. But not by cheating, because it's my muscles,
Yeah,
okay?
sure.
I just use some science and engineering to kind of soup them up a little bit. How'd I get? 13 out of 30. Let's go! My average reaction time was about 200 milliseconds, measuring the amount of frames that it took at 120 frames per second for my hand to start moving once an enemy was visible. Some of these cracked out young chaps are getting like 150 milliseconds or sometimes even slightly lower. So ideally, I want to beat the cracked out young chaps with some science, okay?
Oh, I would think like Shroud is like 145, 150.
Okay, little freaking dinguses. Okay, you little
Sub goal, 100 million milliseconds reaction time.
you little twerps. So the setup looks like this. First, I got a Raspberry Pi from Micro Center and got it set up controlling 4 relays from commands I could send over the
Just a
Wi-Fi.
little bit more, and then we'll show
All
you
the red
near the end.
lights to turn off. Hey, how about that, baby?
And that's really it for the Raspberry Pi. That'll give me control over whatever circuits we use later to electrocute my arm. Now, the server PC program will need to scan all the pixels on the screen and find human-shaped objects using what's called YOLO computer vision. Then we can determine the distance and direction of the detected object relative to the center crosshair while gaming. With that information, it could tell the Raspberry Pi which circuit to open and for how long. So if the enemy's to the left, it opens this relay, and if it's to the right, it opens a different one. So theoretically, I just needed to connect these relays to circuits that are shocking my arm in those directions.
Position the shockies on my arm in such a way that it moves my arm in the proper direction.
Okay, so we're gonna fast forward here to near the end over here, okay? Because now he's playing against other people, and now you can see him getting shocked and playing.
Jokes aside, this was the most unique gaming experience I've ever had. like a jump scare, dude. I'm gonna get shocked at any freaking second. In the cross. Ow, ow, ow! Good crosshair placement is a massive incentive right now. Hey, have you guys ever heard of neuromuscular aim assist?
That sounds like some muscle memory.
So I hooked up a TENS unit to some CSGO cheats, and it's shocking my arm to the right direction.
That's fucking wild.
But it's not cheats, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
my
not
muscles
cheating.
Doing it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
100% cheating.
Okay,
I mean,
so
yes. Holy
we're in agreement then. It's not cheating.
yeah. I believe it.
They're like, I don't give a
Excellent.
shit.
At
Times it legitimately felt like a computer had control of my
I
arm.
basically have like a trigger pot that shocks my finger as well. Ow, ow! Dead guy shocked it.
And other times I couldn't tell if I was being assisted or not.
Oh, dude, I don't know if that was a trigger bot or me, but good shot. Oh my goodness, dude.
Sometimes things would happen so fast I didn't even know my arm was doing the thing it was supposed to or what happened.
Ah. It shocked my. It made me aim up. That was kind of cool. Ah.
Like this time it pulled my arm towards an enemy outside the dead zone, but I was already shooting at an enemy in the dead zone.
Yeah, because
Or this time where for just 2 frames it thought this teammate was an enemy and moved my arm to the
It's
right.
like a TENS unit.
Does it work 100% of the time? What is that?
Ow! But it's not cheating because it's my
because
muscle.
it shocked him to move it over that way,
Bro,
but it was his own teammate.
But other times it was a clear, distinguishable assistance to detecting an enemy I otherwise would have reacted to slower.
Ow. Oh, dude, that was crazy. Dude, it worked! It saw the enemy before I did and made me turn. That's sick. All right, guys. So I'm not cheating. I do have a program running that will electrocute.
Keep telling
my
yourself
trigger finger
that.
if I'm on their head.
It's kind of awesome.
Do you think that should be considered cheating?
No, it's valid.
All right, cool.
It's
so would you
valid.
guys personally run neuromuscular aim assist?
Yeah, that's fine. We're
fine.
cool because they're all
Always
cheating
fine.
in the lobby anyway. Yeah,
Right, they're all
cheating
doing
in
the
lobby
wiggle.
anyway.
They're all doing the wiggle. Yeah.
I run it.
And then I found it.
So it should shock my finger. I've found out you need to kind of leave it limp. That way your own muscles don't resist. You need to... Oh!
Scoped weapons with neuromuscular trigger bot.
Okay, let's see. Someone's going to swing the corner, and I'm going to get shocked.
This truly made it feel like I was just better than I actually was.
Oh, my goodness.
You're basically just a corpse, just sitting
right.
there, and the thing is just moving your arm for you. Right. Because he doesn't even know he's pushing the button.
This is where we're going.
Yeah, he doesn't even know he's pushing the button.
Yes, baby.
Like it worked,
Oh! Limp finger.
and it worked good.
That feels wild.
So in conclusion, the concept of giving a computer vision cheat program control of your muscles and movements can potentially make you the fastest in the world. Like with some more precise electrodes potentially placed in the skin, maybe like 8 channels.
You concur? Not cheating?
I think so, yeah.
You think it'd make you better?
I mean, theoretically, yeah. That'd be your best.
I'm gonna say yes.
Some solid state relays that have significantly less latency. And if you wanted to get riskier, just connect this to Ethernet instead of wireless, you could realistically give yourself sub 50 millisecond reaction time and have it move your muscle precisely to the enemy's head instead of just a directional assistance.
And then electrocutes my finger to shoot.
That's cool.
But I don't
he's
know
not
if I
even
want to spend
looking.
the 3 hours a
He's
week
not-
I get gaming getting tased in the arm.
Yeah.
I turned it up.
And man, I forgot to tell him I was using Linux. I'm gonna go smack.
So that's pretty crazy, right? Now, obviously, you could just use a
Hobby
computer
gamers,
program.
hobby gamers that build their systems. I can see that happening in the future, bro. Someone sells
Now-
a commercial version or a personal version of that. I could see it.
Yeah. Well, right. You just put a thing on your arm, and
Yep.
it does it for you, right?
Yep.
Sells it for $300 or whatever, and
Yep.
instead of using a cheat bot, because now you won't get licked for cheating, you would just get hit because your arm is actually doing the stuff, right? So you're moving that portion out. You're still cheating, but now it's not detectable cheating, right? So imagine if someone that actually was fast at it, though, right? 150, 100 milliseconds, and it gets drawn out.
150 milliseconds is fast as fuck, bro.
Right. Well, if he gets down to 50,
those guys that you watch that do the flick move, that little flick move, if they were not using an aimbot, that's
yeah. Well, there's people that do that
crazy.
without the aimbot. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So some of the people, though, that if you gave this to someone that's already awesome at it, they would even go
yeah.
faster than what they responded to, because they're already responding, right? So the skill level,
but you're not responding. You're allowing the machine to do it for you.
right? So then I see what you're saying. Yeah,
you said multiple times that he has to basically have his hand limp, like you're moving the mouse with your two fingers, but you're leaving the top of your hand completely limp.
right. All turn. Elon Musk is like, hey, wait a minute, can I play Diablo without paying the guy to do it for me now?
If you don't think that that's the direction that we're going to go, or listen, they're already doing it for people who have injuries, like guys who they're already testing it. The guys who can't move, they're paraplegics or quadriplegics, and they attach the things to their brain and the neurons, and they're moving stuff with their mind. The same shit. It's the same shit.
I just thought it was cool. I just thought it was cool with the.
We're going down a wacky world. This is what this is going to lead to for sure.
All right. The only story we missed is the former PlayStation CEO says Xbox Game Pass and other subscription services turn developers onto slave wages, but wage slaves. But we don't need to talk about that. So we're going to go to Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, we'll take the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so to answer some questions. So get your questions lined up there, and we'll be right back. All right. So if you have a question, put a Q in front of your question. We'll mark it in chat, and then we'll answer some of your questions before we end the show today. Don't forget to hit that like button down below if you like it. We do this Monday, or we don't do this Monday. We do this Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, pretty much every single week, about 45 episodes a year. We miss about 5 or 7 for the year. But so if you like it, make sure you hit the comment section down below. Go to Spotify, leave a review. Go to any of your places that you actually watch or listen to after the fact, and leave a comment there. Share it with your friends. All right, let me see.
They just need to, for Battlefield stuff like that. They just need to just do the shit the right way, bro. I'm so disheartened after watching so many of these games come out and they pretend like they don't know how the fuck to make a game. That's why I still play games like Arma and Hell Let Loose, because you don't get the same shit.
One time I used one of those because I had back injury, right? And I used those therapy things, right? And my mother-in-law bought one because she needed something for her leg, and she didn't know if it was on or not. So I was like, let me see. And I put it on me, right? And I was like, it wasn't working. And then all of a sudden she had the cables mismatched, right? And I had it up on a certain thing, and I was standing, right? And it was on my back. And when I took it out and put it into the right thing, I went, and I went down like someone shot me. I was like, oh my God. I was on the ground. They were all laughing. And I was like, what did you do? She had them in backwards. I was like, Jesus Christ. So don't do that standing. Make sure you're sitting.
All you need to do is have multiple vehicles. When someone just drops a vehicle off someplace, another one spawns after a certain amount of time, the other one destroys, just like it did in the old days, right?
Oh,
when,
for
when,
Battlefield,
when,
yeah.
When one new one spawned, the other one would just get on fire and explode and get off the map. So you don't have a whole map full of destroyed vehicles everywhere. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let's start with some of these questions here.
I don't like onions. I love onions in food, but I don't like onions in my game.
Do you think Altern is using the Shock aimbot system? He seems to know a lot about it. Probably. I think Altern could be using it.
I mean, anybody could have a cheat thing on their computer, man. Anybody.
Altern says we have Powland. When are we going to get the to have the Inferno swimmer game, Helldivers clone? Oh, yeah. I mean, are these actual questions? I guess this is a question. Yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way: how long has Helldivers been out? How successful is it?
Over a year and a half now.
Right. It's been out a year. How successful is it, number-wise, as far as engagement? So do you think, based on those two things, there's somebody out there making a game like Helldivers? I'm thinking the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Because all they do is copy pasta. They don't come out with their new shit.
We forgot to bring that up. Helldivers had a commercial, an advertisement, because it's coming to Xbox next month. Okay. Or this month, actually. This month. And they teased ODST, Halo ODST inside of the game. So we'll see what happens there. Alexander Smith says, best tip for being an adult.
I
I'll let
mean,
you go first, Sarge.
I mean, if you're actually trying to be an adult, right? Accountability, responsibility, the list that you don't want to do, things that you don't want to do that you have to do. That's what being an adult is.
Yeah.
But,
Here you go. Best tip.
Budgeting.
Yeah, I was just going to
budgeting,
say, pay your bills on time. There you
budgeting.
go. Yeah, that's the best tip I can
Right?
give you.
Yeah, there's no way you can multitask all the things that you want. You have to be able to get yourself on a schedule, and you have to give yourself some time for yourself. Like if you do certain things with people, that's cool, but you should always factor in a little alone time for yourself.
Don't live above your means.
Yep. In order for you to do less when you get older, you have to invest the money when you're younger and live below your means. You can't be a baller unless you're making high money right away, and even then, you should be putting money away because your ability to make money doesn't last forever, but making money in the system does last forever.
All right, we got a lot of questions, so I'm gonna tear the banner off. If you get a couple more, we'll get them in there. Altern says, "Are you going to play Battlefield 6 beta this weekend?" I am. I'm going to play a little bit more. I want to try out the new. I don't really like the new Empire State map. I like the verticality of it. I just don't really like the map itself. But I want to try it on different game modes and see what it is. So yeah, I'll play that this weekend. Next one is Krebsy says, "Do you see Santa Sin getting added to Battlefield 6 this December?" I hope not. I hope not, because they already did it for 2042. They can't double down, can they? Can they, Krebsy? Can they double down on a Santa skin for this?
Yeah, dude. They don't give a shit.
You know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe it won't be a Santa skin. Maybe it'll be a Rudolph skin or a snowman skin. Maybe, I don't know. Look, how are they going to sell cosmetics? What are they going to sell you? That black cosmetic in blue and then green and then yellow? Like, what are they going to do? They have to put something cool that people want in there. They can't make it too differential from the rest of the team because then you're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
I waited this long for a Battlefield game. I'll wait until Christmas time comes out. If I see a fucking Santa Claus or Rudolph the Reindeer or anybody running around inside Battlefield, I'm not fucking getting it, dude. I'm not fucking getting it. I don't care. It's just fucking dumb.
Krebsy says, "Do you think that when Battlefield 6 ships, the campaign team starts development on Battlefront 3, or do they make the expansion for Battlefield 6 or get folded into the multiplayer or battle royale?"
They had their own games that they were working on prior to this.
Yeah, Motive.
They're not.
Right?
They're not going to go back.
Weren't they working on the Iron Man game?
Yeah, they were working on their own shit when they got dragged in to make a Battlefield game, bro. I think as soon as they're done with this game, they're going back to making the game that they were making.
I mean, wishful thinking, Krebsy. I watched, was it Star Wars HQ? He made a video talking about how Battlefield 6 has to succeed so Battlefront 3 gets made, right? And I'm like, okay, I can see that. And when I say succeed, though, I still think 10 to 12 million. That's a huge success for Battlefield, right? At least in the short term, and then the long term or whatever. If they make whatever they make off Battle Royale, but if it succeeds too well, I don't see them making anything, right? Like Grand Theft Auto 5 stayed around for 13 years because they were just making money hand over fist over on the online aspect. So if the Battle Royale starts to make money hand over fist, I don't think we see a Battlefront 3. I don't see we think anything. I think we see Battlefield 6 here for the next 5-6 years if it works out well, right? For them. So, which is not working out well for us because you won't get a Battlefield 7 or a Battlefield or Battlefront 3.
Well, I didn't get a Battlefield 6 yet. So I'm waiting to see if we get a Battlefield 6 yet before I worry about them coming out with anything else. And then at that point, if Call of Duty doesn't sell their number, I'm sure to sell well. But if Call of Duty doesn't sell their number and Battlefield doesn't sell their number, somebody else in the wings is going to be like, you know what? There's a huge hole to make a game like this. We can make a game like this.
I think Battlefront 3 should be a thing, but we'll see.
But Battlefront 3 only gets upgraded if you're in that world and there's destructible environment.
Right. You have to add a destructible environment.
Right.
That's the next step for Star Wars.
That would be the next step for Battlefront.
Yeah.
Yes.
Krebsy says, I'm on to something. Battlefield 6 multiplayer is already being affected by the BR, and they pull and receive the pull and receive thing was 100% made for the BR first. Tank and explosives being shit is due to BR balance, etc. Well, that's a good theory. That's a good theory that the vehicles are shittier because they have to work in all the other game modes, and the BR, they can't be too OP because otherwise you would just dominate the entire BR. It's a good theory, Krebsy.
I like that. I wait to see if we can prove that. I like that so much. I want to see if we can prove it.
Alexander says, do you think Battlefield has any chance of actually taking players from COD? Yeah. Yeah, no, because I am
any players? Yes.
Yeah, I am that
significant numbers.
When it started, I was a Call of Duty and a Battlefield player. I played campaign for COD, okay, because they didn't have a campaign in Battlefield originally, okay? Then it was the multiplayer was really good. There was both sides, but this one was better because it had vehicles and COD didn't. It was just all infantry type of stuff. So I played both up until 2009, and then Modern Warfare 2 came out, and I was like, I'm done because Call of Duty is just the same all the time, where Battlefield was making it different, making it better, right? Did Vietnam, did Future, did a whole bunch of stuff. So I would say, yeah, I think they can take COD players, but they're going to be playing both. Just like I played both back in the day, because you want to play certain things here, but Call of Duty has stuff like that now. They have a battle royale. I already have skins in COD, so why would I go over to Battlefield? They have a vehicle like section inside that game for certain modes. So why do I need to go play Battlefield, right? So it's like, if I already have invested money into this, it's going to be a lot harder for me to detach myself from this to go to that, just playing the game upfront costs. They already have sunk cost fallacy already in the Call of Duty, which they don't in Battlefield. So we'll see what happens. Z says, finally broke down and started playing Witcher 3. Why do all other RPGs seem lacking? Outer Worlds, Bethesda's new stuff.
Yeah, because think about it. Think about all the stuff that's inside that game. What a well done job they did with Witcher 3.
It was Glitcher when it came out. It's called the Glitcher 3. It was bad. But at the same time, how much work went into that game to get to that point, and everyone else is like, fuck that, I don't want to do that, right? Not everyone wants to make a Baldur's Gate 3, right? Baldur's Gate 3 is a fantastic game. Not everybody wants to make a Cyberpunk, right? Not everybody wants to make a Mass Effect. They want to make the Mass Effect money. They want to make Baldur's Gate 3 money, but they don't want to put the time in to make that actual game.
Much easier just to do a battle royale and sell skins, right, guys?
100%.
I can make just as much money as Baldur's Gate 3 if I get a good skins and a good BR game, right?
Yep. Krebsy says, what happened to all the UI and the map design teams in the industry? Like, realistically, where are they? Like, we haven't had a Rust or a Nuketown in what feels like 8 years.
Yeah, a lot of the UIs I've seen are just dog shit.
The UI is garbage.
Just dog shit.
I honestly, I don't know how to answer this, Krebsy. I don't know where they are. I feel like
they got fired. They're hoping AI will do it.
Yeah, I feel like one guy came up with the Netflix one, and they hired him to do all the UI for everything. They're like, hey, you made some really good AI or UI for Netflix. What do you think you could do with this game? Well, we take really big boxes and we put it on the screen, and then we have to go down 25 levels just to get to the next thing. Like, why is it so shitty? Why is the UI in the beginning of the menu system to the actual... Look at Battlefield 2042 and look at this. It's like identical. It's like identical, right? The where the scope is, where the thing is, where the it's like, come on, man. Like,
can we pasta, bro?
Can we get someone to actually, like, someone at the school for UI design, and they don't have a job right now because the AI is doing it or the guy from Netflix is doing it.
It's dog shit.
Krebsy also says, when do we see Roblox get shut down? Is Roblox hiding the list? I didn't really follow the story. I know there's like a lot of PDF files in Roblox. It's one of the reasons I don't let my son play Roblox or my nephew play Roblox. Like, I just, why give them the opportunity to go into that where they can get the opportunity to get, you know,
time to
groomed or whatever.
I'm tired of hearing about these people, bro. Somebody's gonna get
it's a lot of money.
The two things that are gonna happen is somebody's gonna get castrated, someone's gonna get thrown into a fucking hole. Can't stand these fucking people, man. I don't care if you have a mental illness, you need to belong in an asylum, but you ain't walking the earth doing that to kids. I got news for you. Not anywhere near me.
Right. Let's see here. Altern says, how long till we see Power Rangers in Call of Duty and Battlefield? Probably the springtime, I would think, right? They're
next summer.
Pretty close. Oh,
I mean, Power Rangers came out in Fortnite already.
Yep. Well, Power Rangers is coming to COD 100%.
Yeah.
Battlefield, I don't know. Battlefield, they're going to screw this up, right? Because they need the crazy skins to sell skins, and they're not going to do that. They're going to give you military skins, which is still going to do the exact same thing as losing the identity of Call of Duty. because putting those Navy SEAL skins when you're in the middle of a desert, but I want to keep that skin on, unless they tell me I can't use that skin, and it's only that skin's able to use on certain boards. But even then, the whole entire team doesn't look like me. I might be the only guy that pre-ordered the video game in that lobby, and I'm the only one wearing the black outfit, and everyone else on my team looks like they're all uniform but me. To be like, look at this idiot, right? So I think Power Rangers comes to Call of Duty pretty fast. I'll see it by next summer.
Fucking skins you can't see.
Yeah,
So
first-person skins that you can't see.
So fucking dumb. You guys are just dumb.
Why did Travis think today was Make-A-Wish Sunday? I mean, it's Thursday. I don't know what that's for. I think are you saying that it's playing with Sarge? Is that what you're going with there?
Bro, do you know how many people would buy the fucking G.I. Joe Battlefield game?
I would.
I'm not even going down the road right now. I'm just saying.
I would.
That's how I fix it.
Mo says, I'm making chicken and cream cheese sausage this weekend. Sarge, have you started Fallout 76 yet? And Mike, are you getting Helldivers 2?
No.
I'm
my record is solid. I have not played 76 at all. A matter of fact, somebody a long time ago bought it for me.
Yeah, bought it. Tweak.
And Mike said it's on my
It's
hard
on
drive.
a system. You
there.
should at least download it.
It's not there.
It's there. I'll find it for you next time I'm there.
You
Remind me next time I'm down there.
The next time I'm here, I'll find it.
Yeah, I'll find it. You never let me know. I forget. Right? Am I going to get Helldivers 2? I asked my son if he's interested in Helldivers 2. He's like, I don't know. I got to look at it. Okay. If my son's interested in Helldivers 2, I will buy it for the Xbox because then I can play with him. Right? I can't play with him now because I'm on PC and he can't play because he doesn't have a PC. Right? So if I buy it for Xbox, I can share the account. And I can have it on my Xbox. He can have it on his Xbox. So most likely, I will pick it up for Xbox. But I hate that I have to start over if I play on Xbox. That's what I'm a little pissed off about. Because I already have paid money and stuff like that inside or time spent in the other ones where I unlocked all the war bonds and stuff like that I have. So. But by the way, I'll probably get Helldivers 2 before I get Battlefield 6. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Z says, best tip for being adult. Adult? What's adult? Oh, adult? Adult? I mean, don't piss in the wind. Piss with the wind, not against the wind. There you go. Good tip.
Best tip for being adult? Having prepaid cash cards to buy skins on a fucking game you can't see. That's the best tip for being adult.
Waterbird says, what would make you to decide to get Battlefield 6 day one?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing would get me to buy day one.
No day one, no pre-order, no full price for half-ass games. Done.
Yeah.
Done.
No, I'm not going to get it day one.
Done.
I'm not going to get it week one. Maybe month one.
Yeah.
But I'm also a content creator, so
you have to remember.
I would still keep it off.
The part of your brain that wants you the endorphins to release, you guys have directly tied that to video games, and you think I need that game to release those endorphins. I don't care. I'm not giving these fucking people money for something that's half-assed. I'm just not doing it. I don't care anymore. I've seen the wizard behind the curtain. I know all EA shit. I know all Ubisoft shit. I know the list of shit. I don't care. Right? I love video games, but I'm not going to support guys who shit on the industry. I'm not doing it. I don't care.
Sarge, would you? I don't know if the GI Joe. It is on Xbox. I think it's $29. Would you pay the side scroller GI Joe, the Wrath of Cobra? It's like the Teenage Mutant Turtles, Turtles in Time. Would you play that game?
Is it free?
No, it's $30.
$30? I'll wait.
Okay.
All right.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. How much is the turtle game?
I think it's about $30. I think it's the same.
Yeah. No.
The turtle game is awesome. I got my money's worth
out
of that.
Yeah. Have we played it again? Nope.
Well, no, you're never here.
I'm never here.
No, here. Yeah, when you're here, we played it. Last time you were here, we played it.
When did we play it? Nice try.
Not the last time. Not the last time, but the last time before that. Yeah.
The time before the time.
No, it was.
The
it was in May.
before time. Yeah.
It was in May.
Sure. Awesome.
Okay. I think it's $30. All right. That's going to do it for episode. Wait a minute. Why can't I?
$30 for a side-scrolling G.I. Joe game.
Why can't I take that thing off the screen? Oh, there it is.
Somebody told me they paid $26 for a Subway sandwich. I was like, you know what? It's time for business.
$26 for a the Subway to take to a sandwich place or a Subway sandwich?
$26.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Some of these fucking businesses, we have got to readjust the fucking money, bro. I'm telling you. We have to take all the money we're taking from tariffs. They got to drive it into it. They got to drive truckloads of money into the fucking stadiums and show everyone that we're burning the fucking money for the inflation to go back down. $26 for a Subway sandwich. Do you know what? Remember the magazine cover? And Mo knows this. On the magazine cover in Fallout, on any magazine that you collect, when you actually look at the magazine, how much is the magazine?
I don't know.
Mo knows. Mo plays. Come on, Mo. How much is a magazine when you look at the magazines in Fallout? How much is a magazine?
It's $5.
A magazine. Yeah. Well, you collect them all, right? And you get to see the picture when you see them, right?
I forget.
The price of the magazine is on the fucking on
5 cents.
No, bro.
It's
like $33.
Is that what it is?
Right? Yeah. $33 for a magazine, right? So $26 fucking sandwich. We're right on time. We're real close to Fallout prices, bro. Right? All I'm saying is this. If you don't let them go out of business, bro, we need to reset this bullshit. Right? We need to reset it. It's fucking out. You can't tell me you leave the house, you thought about something, when you come back home, you're less $100. You're missing $100. Like you thought about doing some shit.
I go to breakfast and I get 2 eggs, 2 sausage, wheat toast, and hash browns for $6.
Subway, Krebsy. Subway.
$6. I get 2, 2, 2, or 2, 2, 2. And,
well,
and
to be fair, it was the combo. To be fair,
for $6, I had $6. I have a meal.
I'm aware, bro. That this is what I'm saying, Krebsy. Their fucking heads are on fire. Like, I can't afford anything. Like, stop buying this shit. Stop buying this shit.
I go to a steak place for $26 and get steak, potato, vegetables, and a Coke for $26.
Some of these businesses just have to go out of business. That's it, bro.
Jesus Christ, $26.
I'll rephrase it. It's for the combo. $26 for the combo.
It's like a 12-ounce steak. I could still get
chips, drink, and a sandwich. $26. Get the fuck out of here. Crackhead prices, bro.
This is the same people that when you ask the question, right? How to be an adult? Don't be that guy that's paying $26 for a fucking Subway sandwich. It's insanity.
Like I was upset when I bought vegetables and fruit to make fruit smoothies and vegetable soup. That's all I bought. Fruit and vegetables and a gallon of milk. I got it. And I got them on sale. And a gallon of milk, $100.
Oh,
$100 for fruit.
See, I go to Costco to buy my fruit now.
I know.
Because my son eats fruit like it's going out of style. So
I buy berries, I freeze them, I make smoothies out of them.
Yeah, that's what we do. We buy a bunch of stuff, and if it doesn't eat, then we freeze it to make smoothies and stuff out. Yeah,
I freeze it. Fucking crazy, bro.
Meanwhile, people are buying $100 versions of
Chili's is another fucking place that needs
microtransactions for skin in first person.
Chili's, Carrabba's, Olive Garden, all those places need to fucking close down, bro. It's fucking done. Fucking close down. Did you see the advertisement for that store that guy was talking about? The guy who electrified his arm?
Yeah.
Stores are opening up. It's the new and improved Circuit City or Best Buy.
City, yeah.
Coming back out again.
It's like Fry's. Yeah, there you go. Look at Fry's. Good deals. Got 2 pounds of bacon for $3. There you go.
Oh my
God! Fry's sells food there.
2 pounds of bacon for $3. I got goosebumps. Where, buddy?
Well, you get it for free, Sarge. You just come to the house.
Yeah, you're gonna give me bacon for free. I'll remember to ask for bacon. I'm not like that, bro. But if you want me to ask, hey, where's my fucking bacon, bro?
You want bacon?
Yeah.
I'll give you the best goddamn bacon you've ever had.
Next time I come over,
thick
see you
cut.
soon. See you soon. I'll be asking for bacon.
Thick cut bacon.
I'm not leaving your fucking house now.
Delicious. It'll give you a heart attack.
I'm going for the limit. How many pounds can I walk out with without any questions? What do I got to do?
Well, no, you can't get that. I'll give you a package for free. I'm not going to give you a cow for free.
I'll carve off what I want and ride the rest home.
Yeah, no, we have good to cut bacon. That's why we're baking out. Everyone's like, why don't you get bacon? I was like, because your bacon sucks. I have our own bacon. Why would I get you to give me bacon? Why would I pay exorbitant amount of price for bacon when we have bacon?
And nobody fucking knows how to cook fucking bacon. It makes me fucking insane, bro. I want my bacon crispy. Give me my fucking crispy bacon, not burnt bacon, not rubbery bacon, not fucking two-sided color bacon. Fuck, who's cooking back there?
This is such a thick cut. You don't want to make it crispy. Like you don't. I mean, you could, but you would want this. It's delicious.
If it's thick cut, you don't get it crispy. I know how this fucking works.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, chat. That's gonna do it for tonight. Episode 452, Generation X Gaming is in the cam. Do appreciate you very much. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We'll be back on Monday morning for the daily grind. It happens at 10 o'clock a.m. It happens Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, like I said. Also, watch our past broadcasts over on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, anywhere a podcast is heard or seen. And then you can also go to our channel, 30 and Still Gaming for gaming content, Nerding with 30 for some entertainment content, and then 30 NSG for live and uploads as well. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X Gaming Show.